Well, good evening, race fans. Welcome to Flamboro Speedway, round number 2 of the 2026 APC Series. Great night here to be at the racetrack. It's Adam, it's Jamie, it's Kevin, Clinton, Jeffrey is trackside. And gentlemen, what a spring it's been. We've had some really good racing already. Mother Nature was a little bit late acknowledging that it's supposed to be nicer this time of year, but boy, she has sure delivered this weekend, Jamie.
Definitely a great weekend for racing. Weather's been fabulous. Obviously, take us back to our first APC race of the year. It was darn cold and overcast that weekend. Did not look good, but they got event number 1 in at the end of the day. And how about Josh Stoddy picking up feature win number 1 of his career at Delaware Speedway. So finally a chance for Stoddy to knock that one off the bucket list. He now finally has a win at Delaware.
And as great as things have been this afternoon, it's not all sunshine and roses. And Clinton Jeffrey was with someone who had a tough start to their evening. In fact, the start of their evening was the end of their evening as well.
Here was crew chief for Ray Morneau, Dad Randy. Randy, what happened out here today?
Oil line broke going into turn 1 there, and then backed him in the wall and destroyed the car.
So nothing you guys can fix and get ready here tonight?
No, it's pretty much killed.
Tough break for you guys.
Yeah, it's we're bring her back to Port City and see what they can do, fix her up, and we want to thank everybody that got us here and move on. That's what.
All right. Have a safe trip home, Randy. We appreciate your time today.
Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Difficult night, obviously, for the Ray Morneau crew guys, and certainly not what they needed here on race number 2 of the season.
Kevin, what does it say about someone's character when they've had a brutal night like that and still the last thing they say is have a great show?
Means a lot. It really speaks to the character of the whole family, that whole team organization, that 30 team. They've driven up a couple times to Flamboro all the way up from Windsor, so it really shows the team effort, the family camaraderie that they have, and it just shows that, they care about the fans too. Even though their end the night is a little bit early, they still want to see everyone have a good show out here at Flamboro Speedway.
And if you were around for the opening round at Delaware Speedway back on May 9th, you'll realize this is not the first time this season that an oiled-down racetrack has created havoc, Jamie.
No, that created a big mess at Delaware Speedway. Paul Maltese blew one up, or sorry, Connor Maltese, blew one up down into 3 and 4. By the time the officials got the caution out, the leaders were already in it, and wadded up cars of Connor Pritico. Also taking some significant damage was Shea Gemmel. And also getting in the mix was Brady Smith. I know I had the chance to talk to Shea the last couple Friday nights at Delaware Speedway, where he's been wrenching on his brother-in-law's car. And he thinks he's ready to go here tonight. He says the good news tonight is, he says, all I got to do is qualify in the top 5. He says that invert should put me in pretty good position because of his finish at Delaware.
No, and he loves racing here. So 2 of the 3 cars that were involved in that wreck are here at Flamboro Speedway. Connor Pritico, of course, Shea Gemmel, Brady Smith. Generally doesn't run the shows at Flamboro, generally stays pretty close to Delaware Speedway. But we've got the cars we expected, a quality competition. And, of course, the TQ Midgets, one of my favorite classes in the history of Ontario short track racing.
They always put on a good show. Outdoors and formerly indoors, Adam.
Those were such good winters, Kevin. I don't know how long you've had this passion for racing, but back in the 1990s, what was the last year for it, Jamie?
Gosh, I'm going to say it was maybe 99.
Yeah, the new millennium did not really see indoor racing in Niagara Falls, but what a great time that was. Really shortened up the winters.
So they used to race on the flat concrete floor of the Niagara Falls Convention Center, and they would use a mix of, I believe it was resin and Coca-Cola syrup to they'd lay that down on the track, and then on the Friday night, everybody would go out and practice and practice and practice. And by the end of Friday night, there was literally 1/8 of an inch thick of rubber on the whole surface of the convention hall floor. And then on Saturday, they would qualify during the day, and then everybody would leave the building for supper. We'd go to the press box. Go to the press box, and then go back. And that was literally 30 years ago. That's when I would do the Maryville go-karts, and then I would do the micro spreads for the London area.
Yep, right on. We're old as heck.
Wiley.
Something like that. TQ Midgets rollout. Kevin, let us know who we are looking at.
Good field of Can-Am TQ Midgets out here tonight, rolling off on the pole for heat race number 1 out of Toronto, the number 24 machine. It's going to be Jody Bound. Starting outside out of Rockwood, the number 91 car, that'll be Mike Westwood. Rolling off in third out of Orangeville, the number 57 machine, that'll be James Stanley. Starting fourth out of Brantford, the 49 car, that'll be Dominique Smith. Rolling off in the 5th position at a Dundas, local driver, the 78 car, that'll be Darren McLennan. Starting 6th, he won the opener here a couple weekends ago out of Hillsdale, the number 42 machine, it'll be Daniel Hahn. And rolling off shotgun on the field in heat race number 1 out of Georgetown, the number 5, it's Andrew Whelan.
So earlier in the month, the Wings Super Modifieds were here. And I love what you guys did, Kevin. It was an all open wheel show. You had the Super Modifieds, the Vintage Modifieds, or the hobby cars, whichever you want to call them, and of course the TQ Midgets. These
Open wheel extravaganza.
Open wheel extravaganza. TQ Midgets are wicked fast, unless you've just watched a Super Modified around Flamboro Speedway.
Yeah, it was a little tough. I told the guys earlier, I said, I love watching the TQ Midgets, especially around Flamboro Speedway, but after watching the Super Modifieds, they looked like they were going a little slower. So tonight should be a little bit better because, well, we don't have the Super Modifieds here, but I think they're getting ready to rock and roll. Heat race number 1 on the Speedway. The 24 of Jody Bound and the 91 of Mike Westwood are going to kick things off here tonight at Flamboro Speedway. Sit back, race fans. It's time to go racing on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Flamboro Speedway. Green flag is in the air. We are underway.
Watch Daniel Hahn and the 78 of McLennan. They're starting 5th and 6th on the grid. They're going to try to work their way forward. Both of them top runners, both of them podium finishers during that open wheel extravaganza here at Flamboro a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that 42 of Daniel Hahn, he put a whooping on the field here, and he's looking to get some more down in turns 1 and 2. They're almost 3 wide on the exit of turn 1 and 2. Tight quarter racing action. They're a couple of wide coming off of turn 2, back into 3 and 4, but James Stanley sneaks away at the front of the field. James Stanley leads here on lap number 2.
I thought we saw a car smoking, but it's just the outside groove. Still has some oil dry in it from Ray Morneau's miss. No, the 5 car, Andrew Whalen, something is amiss.
Keep an eye on the number 5 here as we continue to rock and roll here right now. James Stanley out front, Darren McLennan in second, trying to track down the number 57 machine. Daniel Hahn sitting comfortably in third. Dominic Smith up to 4th. Jody Bound, Mike Westwood, and Andrew Whelan 5th, 6th, and 7th. Right now, those Hahn Motorsports Chassis Works machine 1, 2, and 3 as they kind of work back into 1 and 2.
McLennan's coming for him right now. He's trying to reel in your leader. He's cut it down to about 3 cart lengths. Stanley's still showing the way, but here comes Darren McLennan in the 78 machine. Cut his teeth up at the Grand Bend Speedway and has been wheeling carts or cars since, God, the young age of 7 or 8.
And McLennan looking racy here, trying to see if he can maybe make a move. They're going to have a little less rubber laid down than when the Super Modifieds were here, but again, that outside groove, still trying to get a little momentum. You can see McLennan trying to drift up and get the power down as they work back down into 3 and 4 once again. McLennan got to be a little careful, though. That really racy number 42, Daniel Hahn, that black with the orange wing coming towards us back in 1 and 2. He's taking a peek to the outside in 1 and 2.
Those three have pretty much labeled themselves the class of this heat race. Stanley in the 57, McLennan in the 78, Hahn in the 42. There you see the team cars down to the stripe. 2 more laps left to go as they work their way down into 1.
Stanley still out front by a couple, now 3 car lengths as they work back into turns 3 and 4. Those front 3 maybe seem pretty content at the front of the field, but right now James Stanley comes off a 4. White flag in the air, 1 more wrap around the 3rd mile Flamboro Speedway.
Off turn through the out problems on McLennan's car. A little bit of smoke out of the, looked like it was coming out of the tailpipe of the 78. That is not a good sign here early in the evening.
Yeah, you can really see it there off of turn 4, or turn 2.
I think, are there breathers on the top of that motor? I hope that's where it's coming from and not out the actual exhaust.
He's going to bring it to the infield here, but Yeah, hopefully nothing too serious, but up front, James Stanley is going to pick up the first heat race win of the night. McLennan going to limp that car home in second. Daniel Hahn third. Dominique Smith fourth. Jody Bound fifth. Sixth is the 91 of Mike Westwood, and seventh, the 5 of Andrew Whelan.
So
if they've put the victory lane sign beside McLennan's car, your winner's out on the front stretch there, fellas.
yeah, but it's a way shorter walk to Darren.
Yeah, guys, a little bit of oil leaking out, and not clear where it's coming from, guys, but certainly an issue they will have to address here.
There we go. Now they get the
Hahn down there in victory lane. He'll get the quick photo, send him back to the pits.
right guy's got the tag in front of him now.
Yeah, James Stanley takes the win in race number 1. Following the TQ Midget Heats will be time trials for the APC late models. And that's always so tight here at Flamboro.
Based on the practice speed, Adam, there could be a track record set here tonight.
Really?
So, I mean, the guys need to pick up about a tenth and a half. But
That's
it's
doable.
It's going to be a lot cooler by the time they come qualify. And that track record was set all the way back in June of 2018. So 8 years ago, the track record was set here at Flamboro, and it has stood the test of time.
I noticed you've been working a lot of numbers over there. That's your autograph page.
I don't need any autographs. I'm good there. If you are in the grandstand, you want to pick up a program. That's one of the cool parts about the APC series. You can slide on down to the souvenir booth, and they've got free programs. Did we mention they are free?
Yeah, brought a whole box of them over, so I was told to make sure they all leave. So head on down and grab yourselves a program. Get yourself some 50-50 tickets if you're in the stands as we get set to rock and roll for heat race number 2 for the Can-Am TQ Midgets presented by Miller Office Trailers. Here's how they're going to line up for heat race number 2. Rolling off on the pole out of Elmira, the 05, that's going to be Adam Racine. Starting in second spot out of Atwood, the 43 machine, it's Tyler Cullen. Rolling off in the third spot, the beautiful-looking chrome machine, the number 15 out of Woodstock, that's Jaden Riddell. Rolling off in the fourth position at a Newmark, the number 7 car, that'll be Jeff Blackburn. In fifth spot at a Dundas, the 96, that's Alex Connell. And final car on the Speedway at a Bellwood, the 74, is Sherry Hogan. So 6 cars ready to go for 10 laps here for heat race number 2 for the Can-Am TQ Midgets presented by Miller Office Trailers.
7 of Blackburn should be tough. One of the top runners usually. And we'll see if Sherry Hogan from Bellwood can cut her way from the back to the front.
Off of turn 4, the green flag is in the air. The field flies down into turns 1 and 2, coupled up 2 by 2. Off of turn number 2, Adam Racine, the 05, is going to rocket chip out to the race lead. Like Jamie said, that number 7 of Jeff Blackburn, 16 career wins. So you want to keep an eye on that number 7, that white and blue car, trying to slice and dice his way through the field. And the number 15 of Jaden Riddell, he's going to look to the inside off of turn 2. He's going to put that move on the 43 of Tyler Cullen. Now Cullen's going to face a challenge from the 7 of Blackburn into 3 and 4. One around on the exit at turn number 2. I think that's the 74 of Sherry Hogan. And the caution flag's going to fly.
That is indeed who it is. Innocent one-car spin there in turn 2. Hogan gets the car pointed in the right direction and will rejoin the tail of the field.
One thing with these TQ midgets, they do a really good job of kind of filtering themselves together kind of on their own. Sometimes they don't even need a pace car out here. They'll just get doubled up. Away they go. They listen, and, well, we go back green pretty quick.
They know the drill. They know what needs to be done.
It's always nice when fields can line themselves up. We see the pain in the tower some nights, right?
There should be a universal signal from the field of cars. Nope, we've got it. Just the way. It's okay, Tower. We'll look after this ourselves.
Most drivers know where they're supposed to be, right?
They all know where they're supposed to be.
If they go there, that's a different story.
Well, the field's double back up here as we roll through 3 and 4. Green flag's going to come back out on the Speedway. We're back underway. Adam Racine back out front. Tyler Cullen taking to the peak to the inside, but Jaden Riddell on that 15 machine, the chrome with the black wing, trying to make the outside groove work, but no dice. Racine out front, but Riddell's not giving up. A little bit of a crossover move off of turn 4.
Blackburn's car pushed pretty bad in 1 and 2 on that restart. Now looking to the inside, make a move for the 3rd spot.
He looked to poke his nose to the inside of Cullen there, and he backed. He's got by him now, but down into 1 last time. He looked to poke the nose in there, and he's lucky he took his nose out because Cullen hung a hard left without signaling. But Blackburn finally pulls off the pass up in the 4th now, or 3rd, excuse me, and taking off after the leaders.
Yeah, top 2 trying to run away just a little bit. Jaden Riddell in that 15 machine. Been quick, was quick a couple weekends ago. Couldn't quite seal the deal, but right now he's got about a couple car lengths over that 0.5 of Adam Racine back in 2nd. Jeff Blackburn runs 3rd. 4th, Tyler Cullen. 5th is the 96 of Alex Connell. And it looks like Sherry Hogan has brought that car to the pit area here on lap number 5.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to address the issues on that 74, and we'll see Sherry again later on in the program.
I know they've been working quite a bit on that number 74 machine, trying to get it dialed up here after their performance a couple weekends ago. They weren't quite happy with it, so hopefully they can get that crew back to work as we got a battle for 2nd. Now up off of turn number 4, Jeff Blackburn, that white and blue number machine. He's going to dive to the inside, back into 1 and 2. Racine up on the top side, that red and white number 05. He's going to concede the spot, move Jeff Blackburn now up to 2nd. Might run out of time though. Jaden Riddell coming off of turn 4 this time by 2 laps to go in this 2nd heat race.
Good job by Blackburn by squeezing his way up in the 2nd, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to not only catch Riddell, but pass him. And as I say that, he pulls right up in the wake of Riddell's car. It's not over. White flag in the air one more time. Will Blackburn have a shot to get him down to 1 and 2?
Blackburn taking a peek way down to the inside. Riddell drifts up just a little bit. It's going to be a drag race down into 3 and 4. Blackburn on the bottom, Riddell on the top side. Riddell trying to keep the momentum up, but Jeff Blackburn with a last lap pass will pick up the heat race win.
The Riddell car got wicked loose off of turn 4 on the last lap, and it cost him in that race to the line.
How about that for a 2nd heat race? Pretty good. Last lap pass. Oh, if that's any indication of things to come. We're in for a good show here tonight.
Oh, I think we are. And you know what? It just dawned on me. Sean Gibbs is in the flag stand for this TQ midget race. He is the starter for the APC series. But I believe his starter career began with the TQ midgets, and I want to say it was more than 25 years ago. Have a look at the replay of that pass coming off of 4. Racine just got up out of the groove a little bit, couldn't get back to the throttle. And Jeff Blackburn takes the win.
No stranger to victory lane here at Flamboro Speedway.
Good looking race car too.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Photos down there in victory lane. We're going to get set to rock and roll for APC qualifying coming up next.
So, Jamie, why are these cars flirting with the track record today? Why today?
That part I haven't figured out. I just watch practice, and a lot of these track records in the series have stood for a long time. And the biggest reason is because believe the tires just got harder over the years, which, I mean, the technology's advanced, but they used to use what was a lot softer tire. And for some reason today, there's a bunch of guys about a 1/10.5 off. I don't know if they can pick it up. It is a lot of time to pick up, but it is going to be a lot cooler by the time they hit the track than it was earlier during practice. So there is a chance. And again, you're talking about a track record that has stood for about 8 years now.
One of the great things about the APC series is the tire program that has always been run by Grisdale Racing Products, American Racer Tire. Not only is it the American Racer Tire, but they provide at-track service. So these teams can't have the tires days in advance.
No.
There's no funny business.
No, you come and you go into the tire compound and do what you've got to do for your tires, and everything's kept under lock and key until you actually go to put them on the car. Like, there's an extensive process that these guys go through getting ready, where they get the handout on the tires as they're going through tech and have to make sure that. And again, it's a whole lot different now than it was when you and I first started 30 years ago. There was no serial numbers on the tires. They didn't keep track. But now all these tires have serial numbers, so they can keep track of what teams have in the inventory. And you better show up to Tech Lane. If you're the winner that night, you better show up with the same 4 tires that you started the race on. If you don't, they're going to know.
No, that's for sure. And it's been a great service to the racers. And Grisdale Racing Products and American Race Tires have been big supporters of the APC series. Let's take a quick break before we get underway with qualifying here from Flamboro Speedway for the Grisdale 100.
The My Race Pass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the My Race Pass app today in Google Play and the App Store. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Looking for fast-paced action? Get your heart racing at Cordeo Motor Speedway. Catch the best drivers from the Southeast compete on the high-speed 3/8-mile oval right in Cordele, Georgia. Just a half mile from I-75 at exit 104. Join us for a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for fans and drivers alike. For more information on upcoming events, visit CordeoMotorspeedway.com. And if you can't make it to the track, watch the action from Cordele live exclusively on Racing America.
In the fast-paced world of racing, communication is everything. When it comes to at-track communication, Racing Electronics is the leading provider of professional race communications. From driver and crew communications, two-way radios, headsets, scanners, custom hearing protection, and more. Racing Electronics is your go-to destination for all things motorsports. Before the green flag waves, ensure your team is equipped with communication gear from Racing Electronics. Visit a Racing Electronics representative at the track, stop by their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or shop online at racingelectronics.com.
Looking to start a new career path in motorsports or searching for something new in your racing journey? Racer Jobs is your destination for providing the most current job openings from top racing teams, manufacturers, sanctioning bodies, and suppliers. Whether you're a budding race engineer, a seasoned mechanic, or a marketing ace, we consistently refresh our listings with new roles that could meet your ambitions. Looking for a great candidate as an employer? Then tap into our Racer Jobs audience and database to find that perfect candidate. Go to racerjobs.com today.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. It is time to go group qualifying here for the Drysdale 100.
There you see our first car that will take the green and get us rolling from Drumble and Recreational Racing's Tri-County Sandblasting number 89C. Former winner here at Flamboro Speedway on tour. Many years ago, all the way back in 2015 in the inaugural season of the tour. There's the Hudco Electrical Supply Machine, Tyler DiVincenzo out of Guelph. Regular here at Flamboro Speedway, has run regularly on tour before. You see that 97D of DiVincenzo. Got the 23 machine, Connor Maltese out of Innisville. In the awesome Racewear Paragon Office installation entry. It looks like that's it, just 3 of them here in Group 1.
What is that magic track record?
It is 14.855 seconds.
And with these tires and these cars, they take a couple of laps to build up to temperature, so they will get faster and faster as they go. 15.205 for Sean Chenoweth. 15.294 for Tyler DiVincenzo.
Obviously watching to see if anybody does come close to that mark of Brandon Watson's from 8 years ago. But the other thing to watch is who can stay in the top 5. That is how this series is handicapped. If you are in the top 5, you're guaranteed to start in the top 5. And they start that top 5 inverted in points. So the lowest in points will be on the pole of the top 5 qualifiers.
Wow, Tyler DiVincenzo, a 15.12 compared to a 15.10 for Chenoweth. Who can pick up the most at the end? Chenoweth goes a little bit slower. Tyler DiVincenzo with a 15.103 knocks Chenoweth off the top of the board. Connor Maltese, his official lap of record will be a 15.244.
Well, Tyler did say he had a good race car. I was talking to him after practice today. And thought he had a pretty good hot rod here today. Was pretty happy with it. They weren't making a lot of adjustments between practice and qualifying because he was pretty pleased with that 97D there. You've got a winner here at Flamboro previously. The APC Canusa entry from Dorchester. That's Shea Gemmel in the 3.
Then that beautiful 51 out of Hamilton. It's a Bennett Construction Group. Platinum 1 Contracting 51 of Mike Bentley.
The 19, the Dumas Development Glencoe Auto Recyclers entry. Connor Pritico out of Kilworth.
2 of the 3 cars in this group, Shea Gemmel and Connor Pritico, involved in that nasty crash down in turn number 3 at Delaware Speedway. Repairs have been made. You'd never know how much of the pretty was wiped off of these cars in that wreck, because they are back to show car condition here today.
Pritico got some laps in last Friday night at Delaware Speedway. We ran our weekly show. He's a former track champ there. Looking forward to our next show, obviously, or our second show from now, the end of the month at Delaware, event number 4 of the APC Tour. There you see Pritico. A couple wins on tour, both at Delaware Speedway.
He's a threat, though, anywhere we go.
Tires getting up to temperature now.
Shea Gemmel jumps up to the 3rd spot, 15.236, jumps ahead of Connor Maltese. Now Connor Pritico ahead of both of them with a 15.201. So they need another 1/10 of a second to knock Tyler DiVincenzo off the top of the board.
There's Pritico. One of only one set of cousins to ever win APC United late model feature races.
New fast time, 15.090 for Pritico. Tyler DiVincenzo still hanging on to 2nd.
Pritico can't go faster on his lap, 4th lap. It's actually about a 10th slower.
Yeah, Shea Gemmel was consistent, but consistently not quite quick enough. Mike Bentley down in the 6th spot. And Connor Prinico picks up a little, 15.079, his lap of record. So Prinico to the top, but Tyler DiVincenzo, good job for him, still in the 2nd spot.
So the order they come out in here for qualifying is reverse of their practice speeds. So as we move further along in qualifying, you will see theoretically faster cars, guys that were faster in practice. And first one up for grabs, it's the Mobile 1. Number 2 from Innisfil, that's Kendra Adams.
And that's impressive. That means she was faster than a lot of really good cars.
Well, we talked at length in the Delaware broadcast about her run at the half mile.
And confidence is everything.
There's the Home Hardware Burns Workwear. Number 72, Junior Farley out of Guelph.
Behind him, another driver out of Guelph in the number 83. Wellington Systems, Shaw Motorsports 83 of Dale Shaw. And last but not least, from Milverton, the APC Pennzoil GSR Dayco 22, it's Kyle Steckley.
Steckley, former winner here at Flamboro Speedway. He's got a few wins to his credit on tour. 4, in fact, he's tied with J.R. Fitzpatrick for the all-time winningest driver here at Flamboro in APC competition. Dale Shaw also has 1 feature win here at Flamboro on tour.
And his first win had to be the most impressive.
Steckley, for sure. He wasn't even running the full season on tour at that time. He was just running here weekly.
Yep. Jumps up to P2, 15.082 for Kyle Steckley on lap number 2.
Steckley still on the top of the board. 14.9. Still about a tenth. It's a 14.93, almost a tenth off that track record, which is a 14.855.
And just got a note, many thank you to Mike Schmidt, who educated us to tell us that qualifying order tonight was not based on practice speed, but by points, which would make sense.
There you go.
But I don't know why they changed it. I don't like change, Jim.
No, I don't like change. Just, it's like Homer said. I thought I had it figured out, and then they changed what it is.
So Kyle Steckley at the top, Connor Pritico second, Tyler DiVincenzo third, then Sean Chenoweth and Junior Farley round out the top 5.
30. It's the Ellis Don Gallagher Insurance Machine of Brandon Watson out of Stainer, 2-time series champ. And then you've got the 52, the Reynolds Trucking Raptor Filter Pride Seeds entry of Jake Sheridan out of Mount Bridges. And the Canadian Flat Roof Systems APC sponsored entry, defending series champ. Winner of our season opener at Delaware Speedway, primetime Josh Stoddy out of Chesley, Ontario.
Green flag flies. It is time to perform for these drivers. Jake Sheridan into the top 5 on his first lap of 15.14. That 52 machine is hooked up. Brandon Watson jumps up to P2. Jake Sheridan knocks him off immediately, 15.01. They need a 1/10 of a second to catch Kyle Steckley. They need 2/10 of a second to knock off a new track record here at Flamboro Speedway.
Watson gets down under 15 seconds. Now only the second driver to climb under the 15-second mark. White flag in the air. We'll see if he can pick it up just a bit. He does, but not quick enough to get quicker than Steckley.
This is it. Last chance for Brandon Watson. Checkered flag in the air. A little bit slower. Kyle Steckley remains P1. Jake Sheridan remains P3. Shea Gemmel back in the 9th spot. There should be one more driver. Who are we missing?
Well, Morneau will not make it out.
No, we know Morneau won't. Glenn Steyer's in the 0. Not sure what's going on with that 0 machine. But how about Tyler DiVincenzo locking into that top 5? 22 of Kyle Steckley, the 30 of Brandon Watson, 52 Jake Sheridan, 19 Connor Pritico, and 97 Tyler DiVincenzo is your top 5.
Now here's where the caveat of the invert does take place, though. Even though Tyler DiVincenzo is in the top 5, he did not run the first race, does not have 100% attendance, will have to start 5th. But I would say that would probably put Pritico on the pole.
And I would also say 5th is probably Tyler DiVincenzo's best career starting spot. That is unofficial. So Sean Gibbs still up there in the flag stand.
And for Kyle Steckley, his 14th career pole position.
In how many attempts, do we know?
Hang on a sec. Leave that one with me.
Sure, we'll get back to you. We're here all night.
9th pole, 9th career pole for Kyle Steckley in 40 starts, so 1 out of every 4 races essentially. The only driver with more poles is Brandon Watson, who's got 14.
Don't kid. I would have thought Brandon would have more pole positions than that for the years he was such a dominant force. So here's what's puzzling me at the moment. We got the flagman up in the flag stand looking at turn 4, the official in turn 4 looking up pit road, the camera fixed on the track entrance in turn 4, and I don't know what's about to pop onto the racetrack.
Looks like a side-by-side.
There's got to be more. Although the TQ midgets are lined up over there from the looks of it, so I believe we're going to get their second round of heats right away. We had Clinton Jeffrey working hard earlier on, and we're going to see the fruits of his labor a little bit later on. But he got to go one-on-one with most of these drivers here in attendance today. So that'll be fun to hear from them. You get a different story from these drivers, but let's go pit side with Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Adam. We're here with Kyle Steckley, our Epic Racer Fast Time Award winner. Your 9th time you picked up the Fast Time. Kyle, that sets you off on a pretty good, at least confidence wave for the night.
Yeah, we've had a really fast APC Auto Parts Center's number 22 car tonight, and we'll see. I was a little loose, so I think that's going to play into our favor for the race, and there's some qualifying points this year, so that's big, and just happy to have a strong car, be back at Flamboro Speedway, and looking forward to 100 laps tonight.
100 laps tonight. Does that change your game plan at all for anything? How do you guys, is it going to get too cool in here? How's this track going to change?
Yeah, it's definitely going to cool down and tighten up. That's pretty much what it always does here at Flamboro Speedway, so I think you want to be a bit on the looser side while the sun's still up, and I think it's going to be a good race, real racy, and hopefully we start somewhere in the top 4 after our top 6 invert, and then we can just go from there.
Good luck, Kyle.
Thank you.
This is Kyle Steckley, everybody, your Epic Racewear Fast Time Award winner tonight here. Round 2 of Flamboro, guys.
Let's take a break from Flamboro Speedway. When we come back, it'll be time for more qualifying heats for the TQ Midgets.
Can't hear on the phone? You're not alone. With Roger Voice, every phone call comes with real-time captions, even on video calls, so you can read what's being said as it happens. Adjust the language and text size to fit your needs for a more comfortable experience. Free and unlimited. Roger Voice is certified by the FCC. Download it today and stay connected with ease.
The MyRacePass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the MyRacePass app today in Google Play and the App Store. MyRacePass, the ultimate racing resource.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. I was mistaken. It is feature time for the TQ Midgets.
Time to go. 25 laps for the Can-Am TQ Midgets presented by Miller Office Trailers. Here's how they're going to line up for their 25-lap feature event. On the pole out of Elmira, the 05, it's Adam Racine. Starting in the second position out of Orangeville, the 57, that'll be James Stanley. Starting in the third spot out of Atwood, the B&K Tire and Battery, number 43, it's Tyler Cullen. Starting fourth out of Brantford, the number 49, JDL Distributing, number 49, it's Dominique Smith. Scheduled to roll off in the fifth spot out of Woodstock, the Jim Williamson Construction, number 15, it's Jaden Riddell. Starting in the sixth position out of Dundas, the Flamboro Machine Shop, number 78, it's Darren McLennan. Scheduled to roll off in the seventh spot out of Newmarket, the Beatty's Distilleries, number 7, it's Jeff Blackburn. Scheduled 8th out of Hillsdale, the Hahn Motorsports Chassis Works, number 42, it's Daniel Hahn. Starting 9th out of Toronto, Larry's Engines, number 24, it's Jody Bound. Starting 10th out of Rockwood, the Westwood Speed Shops, number 91, it's Mike Westwood. 11th will be out of Dundas, the Connell's Construction, number 96, it's Alex Connell. Starting 12th out of Georgetown, the Mapleview Tire, number 5, it's Andrew Whelan. And shotgun on the field out of Bellwood, the Short Reed Auto Center, number 74, it's Sherry Hogan. As the field gets set to rock and roll here at Flamboro Speedway, they're going to separate and bring to you the 4-wide salute to you, the fans, here at Flamboro Speedway.
Get your cameras out.
I'm just noticing there's a car in the middle without a wing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's going to affect the handling a little bit.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's not going to win.
I think that's the 91 of Mike Westwood. I could be wrong, but that's it's an unusual look without a wing.
No, to go back to our conversation about indoor racing back in Niagara Falls, none of them ran wings indoors.
No, you couldn't run the wings. And the rules were similar as the Atlantic midgets. So you used to see a bunch of those guys get together over the winter as well. And they would come race with the Ontario and New York, essentially, drivers. Here's our wave lap.
4-wide salute, still really cool. I'm a big fan. 4-wide with a TQ midget is a pretty cool spectacle, I will say.
It is for sure one of the traditional treats for the race fans in Ontario. We'll wind them up, let them get some heat into these tires. Then stack the deck once again and set them loose.
One to keep an eye on that 42 of Daniel Hahn. Said he wasn't going to run full-time this season, but he did pick up the feature win here a couple weekends ago on that open wheel extravaganza. And Jamie, I do have to say, I may have come up with that name, so I'm a little proud of myself for that one.
Not just a race card, an extravaganza.
An extravaganza. It was a cool spectacle. We had to make it special.
It was a great night, and Adam and I were saying beforehand, in all the times I've seen the super modifieds, I have never seen the vapor trails off the wings like there was that night here at Flamboro. The air was just so heavy.
Yeah, that was quite the sight, the 19 of Trent Stevens. Every time he dove into turn one, you just see that funnel coming off the left side wing. It was really cool. So That was a lot of fun, but we're ready to go. TQ Canada Midget Racing. The field's going to get doubled up. They got the white flag from Mr. Sean Gibbs up in the starter stand. Well, it's 7:10. We're going feature racing here at Flamboro Speedway. Strap in, folks. It's time to go 25 laps for the TQ Canada Midgets, presented by Miller Mobile Offices as they roll off at turn number 4. The green flag is in the air. We're underway for the first feature of the night.
One for the first time, eyes on Stanley in the 57, starting outside of the front row. He gets squeezed up off turn 2. He's going to fight back on the high side. Not giving up on the outside. That's Stanley in the 57. The race off turn 4, still side by side at the stripe with him and Racine.
2 by 2 for about 3-4 rows deep as they battle off at turn number 2 once again. Still double file at the front of the field. Stanley this time, though, into 3 and 4. He's going to edge out in front of that 0-5 of Adam Racine. New race leader once again, the 57 of James Stanley up front as they dive back into 1 and 2.
So we noticed that smoke and heat race competition coming from the 78 machine at Darren McLennan. Looks like they got that fixed. He dives into 3rd, down into 3 and 4. Quickly up in the bronze medal spot, and he brings Hahn with him.
Hahn in that 42. He's going to dive down to the inside around the 49 of Dominique Smith. Move that 42. Oh, one around in the exit of 1 and 2. Caution flag on the Speedway.
I believe that's the wheel in number 5, and there is some hot fluid coming out.
You could see the frantic response there trying to get the wheel off.
So there is a lot of fluid in these cars that run in the midst of the driver, the coolant as well. Remember we saw some fluid earlier on? I almost wonder if it spit a coolant line. It was hot coolant spraying on his leg, but Clinton Jeffrey, I believe, yes, he is on his way over there. That driver has a hot foot.
But guys, you can see here, fluid leaking out underneath, as you mentioned, Adam. Taking a look under to see what it could be.
I'm pretty sure that's water,
yeah,
Clint.
it's a coolant.
And I believe if you get a good shot of the driver's left leg, you'll find that either his foot or his ankle is wet.
Well, he's favoring it a little bit, so I got to wonder if he maybe got a piece of it. Max in here talking to him to make sure he's all right. We'll jump in there in a second.
Our old buddy Ryan Hunsinger had that happen to him, I believe, up at Peterborough. And he had some significant burns in a part of your body that you do not want to be burned.
So first yellow of the evening here in the TQ Midget 25 lap feature.
Tough break for the number 5 of Andrew Willen. He wasn't out there for the season opener a couple weekends ago, and unfortunately going off on the hook here 3 laps into this one.
Yeah, he'll just pick a side on the sidebar here and push
I don't know that.
Go ahead, Adam.
I don't know that's the best way to push a car off.
That's I was just gonna say. I don't think I love that idea, but
that is unique right there.
Well, it's great until he needs to stop.
So here you get one look, guys, at the fluid. Not a ton of it, but just enough to ruin his day. And we're way up out of the groove. This shouldn't be any type of cleanup here.
Nobody spun out in that fluid, Clinton, so hopefully they're walking back from turn 1. And there might have only been enough coolant to really get on the right rear and spin him out. There might not be a big trail, but...
Yeah, no huge trail, a couple spots here, but for the most part, they pretty much got this one cleaned up.
But if they go back and watch the heat races, if they show the 5 car in the heat races, you could see those vapors coming off the back. So I think that was a long time coming and finally built up enough heat that poof.
Every once in a while, the system just finally fails. Good news is he's okay. Didn't hit the wall, so that's good.
That's very true. Spun the car around. And these cars are snug. So getting out of them in a hurry can be a real challenge.
You are wedged in there. There's not much to them.
I can tell you if I was in one, I probably wouldn't be getting out too fast. I need a little butter to kind of slide me out.
I will acknowledge we've never seen Sean Chenoweth run a midget, have we?
No, we haven't. J.R. Fitzpatrick did a couple of times, and he's a tall drink of water.
I remember he built that purple number 4 car. It's beautiful.
Who did, J.R.?
Yeah,
Really?
He built his own car, if I'm not mistaken.
When are you ever mistaken?
Oh, I've been wrong before.
I missed that day.
A list of people who will help tell you that's long.
So it looks like the field's doubled up here once again. I see the green flag in the hand from our starter, Mr. Sean Gibbs. I think we're going back racing. 57 of James Stanley, the 05 of Adam Racine out front. They roll off of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. We're underway once again.
Stanley up front. McLennan blasts up into second. Racine gets shuffled high. Now here comes Hahn as well. And those 3 team cars have quickly filtered their way up to the top 3 spots.
And those Hahn Motorsports Chassis Works machines, 1, 2, 3 as they roll back into 1 and 2. 15 of Jaden Riddell, the first car side by side with the 49 of Dominique Smith. And again, I'm keeping an eye on that number 91, the wingless Mike Westwood. He's to the inside on the 43 of Tyler Cullen. You can see him coming up off of turn number 4. But right now, Westwood doing a good job with no top wing back into 1 and 2.
That car is a handful. He is sliding that thing into the turns.
It's got to be like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
See the amount of wheel going into that number 91 car. Is now Jeff Blackburn going to dive the inside. Whoa, Westwood way to the inside trying to make a move. Oh, they touch wheels. Westwood trying to slide in line. Wheel-to-wheel contact, not what you want to have in an open-wheel race car. Somehow they keep things straight. But keep an eye on the number 91 of Mike Westwood as he works lap number 7 here. This 25-lap feature event.
Westwood's going to sleep well tonight, that's for sure. How about that Racine getting by Riddell? That's for 4th spot, that battle on the screen.
Jaden Riddell, that 15 car, picked up his first and only feature win a couple years ago right here at Flamboro Speedway. He's trying to track down those top 3 as right now we see the 7 of Jeff Blackburn trying to make a move on the 49 of Dominique Smith. Blackburn started a little deeper in the field. He was your Heat 1 winner, so keep an eye on that number 7 of Blackburn as he tries to make a move on the 49 of Dominique Smith back into 3 and 4.
He's going to need some help right now, though. He sits all the way back in 7th spot and almost a half a track behind your leader, so he's got to go to the whip, got to get a couple cars, get a timely yellow if he wants to get to victory lane here tonight. Out front, it's all Paul Stanley to the stripe again. 14 laps to go for the 57 as he swings it down through 1 and 2.
Stanley out front, Darren McLennan in second, Daniel Hahn third, Jaden Riddell fourth, Adam Racine, the 05, holding on to the 5th and final top 5 position as the field continues to circulate around this 3rd mile Flamboro Speedway at really quick lap times. Right now, James Stanley, though, he's got about a 5-6 car length advantage over that 78 of McLennan, and it's another 5 car lengths back to the 42 of Daniel Hahn as those top 3 are starting to check out, but a little lap traffic up ahead as they work back into 1 and 2.
And all that's going up front, they're pretty stable. We're watching Blackburn now to the inside of Dominic Smith. That's for position. Oh, and they make contact and synchronized spinning down here in turn 2. Blackburn dove to the inside. He had been reeling in Smith, who was reeling in Racine at the time. And now we've got 2 midgets facing the wrong direction.
Hopefully we'll see if those cars can refire here. The Can-Am TQ Midget safety crew on site. Looked like it was just a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact, so hopefully everything's okay.
Yeah, the right rear of Blackburn clipped the left rear of Dominique. And around they both went.
They both continue, so luckily pretty harmless, but they will both have to restart at the back of the pack.
Yeah, don't even see any damage to the left rear wheel of Dominique Smith's 49. Nor to the right rear of Blackburn's number 7.
keep an eye on that battle as they try to work through the back of the field. And up front, now those top three, they're going to be nose to tail here as we get the white flag in the air. There's Hahn Motorsports Chassis Works machines up at the front of the field, going to put on a show here with, what do we got, 12 laps to go here in this one.
Stanley on the inside, McLennan up top. Hahn will restart in the bronze medal position. And Adam Racine in fifth spot, with Riddell restarting fourth in the 15.
As they roll back through 3 and 4, the green flag back in the air. McLennan, the 78, gets a good jump on the outside. McLennan to go high, wide, and handsome on the outside. He's used to riding the cushion on Oswego on Friday nights and maybe trying to make it work here at Flamboro Speedway, but Stanley slams the door shut. Side by side behind them for third and fourth. Riddell in the 15 trying to make something move on the 42. Daniel Hahn back into 1 and 2.
How about Riddell creeping up on Hahn there on that restart? Good job. He's hanging tough on the outside. Through 3 and 4. Now Hahn with a little bit of advantage. Oh, somebody around in 3 and 4.
I almost wonder if there was fluid on the racetrack.
You see the 78 McLennan slow. We saw that smoke. Maybe the issue wasn't totally fixed because the whole field, we saw the 15 of Riddell went sliding up in the middle of 3 and 4 as well. So maybe there was something down there on the inside line.
Yeah, you can see McLennan with a bunch of smoke out of there and then everybody behind him.
See former champ Corey Whittam up there in turn 3 and 4 on the quad, showing them all where to run through the moisture. Cleanup crews on the scene now. And when we talk cleanup crews, we're talking track crew. Now Terry Watts, director of the series, calling for a hook on one of the cars.
Yeah, you saw the 91 of Mike Westwood. He slid up in that, I'm guessing it's oil or something down there. He made a little bit of contact with that outside 3-4 wall. The wing wasn't able to slow him down enough.
Or lack of.
Lack of wing, yes.
Tyler Cullen's going to be all right here. Should be able to drive this 43 away. They're backing up to hook up the Hahn or the Westwood car. And yeah, the front end collapsed here on this Westwood machine. That's the beauty of these smaller machines. You can use a smaller side-by-side here to tow it. And you can see the front end collapsed over on it, and certainly not in a good spot there. And they'll tow this one on out of here.
I would love to hear from Mike Westwood, Clinton, if they tow him down to the infield and you get a chance to see what's the difference running these cars with a wing and without.
He just said it hit the oil on the way by, so we'll see where they take him off to here.
Westwood's always got a smile on his face. Darren McLennan is down on the infield. He has climbed out of that car and popped his helmet off, brushing himself off from the weekend's adventure. He had a good night last night up at Oswego Speedway, had a solid run in the crate sprint.
He said he's just happy when he can make an A feature at Oswego in the crate sprints.
There are tough features to make. We had 2 sprint car divisions last night and a total of 70 cars.
One of the winners, he's down here tonight wrenching on Brothers' car. Big shout out to Nick Sheridan picking up a win last night. We'll see how he does as crew chief Nick here this evening.
Takes a lot of pride in both jobs and does both jobs at a very high level.
He also informed me that the Dairy Queen in Brantford is open till midnight tonight.
What?
I do have to say, they opened a Dairy Queen in Paris as well. It's open till midnight. I'm headed there after.
There you go.
Send a letter to the mayor of Cambridge. What gives?
Joe Chisholm said he's working on a sponsorship right now. Just product. He said product's good enough for me. Is it a peanut buster parfait? He's a peanut buster parfait guy.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I can't say as I've ever had one. I go with what I call the BHB, Adam. That is the Big Honkin' Blizzard.
Is that right? You got to tell us what flavor. You can't leave us hanging.
I go usually Oreo, and DJ Kennington taught me this. The secret is you ask for cone dip in there.
Oreo with
and they put the chocolate cone dip in there. So you go with like an Oreo or maybe even an Oreo cheesecake, and with a splash of cone dip. That is.
I have not had one this year. I'm trying to avoid it, but chocolate chip cookie dough with peanut butter sauce is my jam.
That would be pretty good.
You guys are making me hungry over here.
Kevin's on a weight loss program, so he's just angry.
Nothing like eating air. All right, as they come off of turn 4, the green flag's back in the air. We're back underway. 11 laps to go in this one. James Stanley out front. Riddell again in that 15. Going to try to make the outside work on Daniel Hahn, but no dice. Hahn up to second now as those top 3 trying to scoot away back into 3 and 4.
Down from 3 cars to 2 team cars. As you see Racine running 3rd. And how about that from the back of the pack? Blackburn up into 4th spot. Sorry, I said that was Racine running 3rd. It's not, it's Riddell. Racine back in 5th. But don't count out the 7 of Blackburn. He was a heat race winner earlier on tonight. Him and Stanley got the heat race wins. And Riddell now pressing the issue for 2nd with Hahn.
That 15 of Jaden Riddell looking really racy here as they dive back into 3 and 4 with that overhead shot as they come off of turn number 4. You can just see how much handling goes into these racing automobiles as Riddell trying to close down that 42 of Daniel Hahn. Up front, though, James Stanley, he's got about a 5-car length advantage as he comes up off of turn number 4, this time by 7 laps to go for the 57 of James Stanley.
We are picking him up and putting him down, and James Stanley out front showing the way. A healthy lead. Now call it about 20 car lengths over the 42 of Hahn. Riddell goes 3rd. 4th is Blackburn. 5th is Racine. 43 of Cullen has recovered from that earlier spin. Up in the 6th spot right now.
Cullen in that 43, he's trying to close the gap there on that 0-5 of Racine. This time by the field sees 5 to go. 5 more trips around this 3rd mile Flamboro Speedway for the Can-Am TQ Midgets presented by Miller Office Trailers. James Stanley, Daniel Hahn, Jaden Riddell, Jeff Blackburn, Adam, receive your top 5.
Laps winding down for Stanley. Now 4 to go in that 57 machine. There's Hahn in the 42 running 2nd. About 25 car lengths out front to the leader, about 10 car lengths behind him to 3rd in his own little race right now is Daniel Hahn, defending series champ in the 42 and winner of the season opener.
James Stanley said after round number 1 he wanted to be a couple spots up on the podium to challenge that 42 of Daniel Hahn, and right now doing a good job. 2 to go this time by a Stanley in that Hahn Motorsports Chassis Works Southfield Farms number 57 car, the black and yellow with the white body. Back through 3 and 4 this time by a white flag going to be in the air for the race leader off of turn 4.
Into 1 and 2 for the final time. It's Stanley in that 57 machine. He'll work it off turn 2. Down the back stretch, swings it up towards the wall, leaves a couple feet there for safety. Now back down into 3 and 4 for the final time. And to the stripe, your winner, Stanley, in the 57. James Stanley gets it done here tonight. Daniel Hahn comes home 2nd. Blackburn in 3rd.
Yeah, Jeff Blackburn got around that 15 of Jaden Riddell on the last lap there, so moved Blackburn to the final podium spot. Jaden Riddell comes home 4th. 5th, the 0-5 of Adam Racine. 6th, the 43 of Tyler Cullen. 7th, the 49 of Dominique Smith. 8th, the 24 of Jody Bound. 9th, the 74 of Sherry Hogan. And 10th, the 96 of Alex Connell.
An impressive showing by the TQ Midgets. And a colorful top 3 headed down to Victory Lane where Clinton Jeffrey will greet them and chat with all 3 of our top 3 finishers.
I know that 57 of Stanley, he's going to be pretty happy pulling into Victory Lane. Be a good, healthy smile on the driver of the number 57 car as he pulls into Victory Lane here at Flamboro Speedway.
Well, we talked about some great iron here, and this is a gorgeous piece. Looks like a brand new machine here for Stanley. Barely any dust on it, even it is in fantastic condition. James Stanley will work his way out of the car here. We'll get a word with him. And a solid night for the Can-Am TQ midgets here this evening. And up close, you get a good look at just how tight these cars really are. He works his way out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big Flamboro Speedway welcome for your winner tonight, James Stanley. We'll get him around front, get a word with him. Daniel Hahn in to talk to him too. Come on around front, James. We'll get you right here out of beside your car so we can get the gorgeous machine on air. What a drive tonight. You best this field. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, there's some pretty stout guys here. This isn't my best track, but funny enough, Daniel Hahn's been the one to help me figure this place out. I was at his house this week, and we went through this whole car because we struggled last race here, and the changes really paid off. This thing was a rocket ship.
So that must make it a bit easier for him to swallow you beating him here tonight. He had a bit of a hand in it. You know, what a drive for your night. Weather perfect for you guys. Couldn't have been a better day.
Yeah, it's a perfect day. He built this chassis, so I'm sure he's just as proud. I want to thank everybody standing here. Marissa, Tyler, Quentin, Ian, Xander, Daniel, Darcy, Darren, all the FMS crew, HMCW put me here, so that was awesome.
Right on. James Stanley picks up the win. We'll get over here and talk to Daniel Hahn about his ride too. Another gorgeous machine. Daniel, you taking credit for building both these winning machines. That's got to make you feel good even though you didn't get to the top step of the podium when the work for your buddy pays off.
Oh man, I can't be more happy for him. The car comes out of my shop this year, and we're going hard at him taking the championship. This is my second last race here in these things, then we're moving to the hot rods. But I'm so proud for James. The guy works his tail off, and he earned that spot, and he was a class act tonight.
Solid drive, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
Daniel Hahn, we'll get over here and talk to Jeff Blackburn. Jeff, solid drive for you today. Anytime you can end up on the podium and not on the hook is a good night at Flamboro. Talk about your evening for us.
Yeah, not a bad night. Top three is always good, especially when you spin out and start from the back. So on that restart, we got pretty lucky. I like one high and then cut down on the apron and passed like, I don't know, 5 cars. So it got me back up there. And then, yeah, that caution came out, which kind of helped. But yeah, I had fun today. Didn't do too much in the car. So I don't know. Got to thank my family, my girlfriend, my sponsors, and the fans for coming out today.
Solid drive. Jeff Blackburn will be third. Daniel Hahn second. Your winner tonight. James Stanley takes home the Can-Am TQ Midget feature event. Stick around. We'll be right back live here on Racing America as we get set to go with the Drysdale 100 for the APC United Racing Series late models, guys.
Looking for fast-paced action? Get your heart racing at Cordia Motor Speedway. Catch the best drivers from the Southeast compete on the high-speed 3/8 mile oval right in Cordele, Georgia. Just a half mile from I-75 at exit 104. Join us for a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for fans and drivers alike. For more information on upcoming events, visit CordelMotorspeedway.com. And if you can't make it to the track, watch the action from Cordele live exclusively on Racing America.
In the fast-paced world of racing, communication is everything. When it comes to at-track communication, Racing Electronics is the leading provider of professional race communications. From driver and crew communications, two-way radios, headsets, scanners, custom hearing protection, and more. Racing Electronics is your go-to destination for all things motorsports. Before the green flag waves, ensure your team is equipped with communication gear from Racing Electronics. Visit a Racing Electronics representative at the track, stop by their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or shop online at racingelectronics.com.
Looking to start a new career path in motorsports or searching for something new in your racing journey? Racer Jobs is your destination for providing the most current job openings from top racing teams, manufacturers, sanctioning bodies, and suppliers. Whether you're a budding race engineer, a seasoned mechanic, or a marketing ace, we consistently refresh our listings with new roles that could meet your ambitions. Looking for a great candidate as an employer? Then tap into our Racer Jobs audience and database to find that perfect candidate. Go to racerjobs.com today.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Can't hear on the phone? You're not alone. With Roger Voice, every phone call comes with real-time captions, even on video calls, so you can read what's being said as it happens. Adjust the language and text size to fit your needs for a more comfortable experience. Free and unlimited. Roger Voice is certified by the FCC. Download it today and stay connected with ease.
Work tonight. The Grisdale 100 will be contested here on the tight third-mile confines of Flamboro Speedway. We are getting set up for an autograph session on the front straightaway. Anticipated time of the green flag is scheduled to be 8:20. So there'll be some time to go down there and chat with your favorite drivers, get some autographs, take some pictures. And we've got a bunch of interviews queued up that Clinton Jeffrey did earlier on. We've also got conversations that we can have up here in the tower between myself and Jamie and Kevin. Clinton Jeffrey down trackside. He did most of the heavy lifting earlier on, so we got a bunch of interviews prepared. But Jamie, this is the calm before the storm. In Flamboro Speedway, a late model show here. We have seen them go green to checker, no cautions whatsoever. And then we have seen some where probably the lap count gets up into the 200 lap range with yellow flag laps and I don't want to say constant, frequent mishaps on the racetrack.
And every point in between.
What's the difference? I have a theory, but I want your opinion. What is the difference between that clean and green run to the checker and a night where we're seeing a lot of yellow flag laps?
I definitely cannot put my finger on that. It would be pure chance. The one interesting thing is when we've had the Dayco Superstock races, those ones have gone green to checkered with no yellows, definitely way more than anybody could ever anticipate. The late models, we've had a few of them. I'll never forget, the first one was up at Sawville Speedway. So 15-second laps. It was a 100-lap race. And we were done in 25 minutes. And there was people felt like they got ripped off.
Right.
Because the race was too quick.
It's tough. It's tough to have that balance. You want it to be entertaining. Kevin, let's hear your thoughts on it.
It's hard. I mean, one thing here at Flamboro Speedway, once they start to get strung out a little bit, sometimes they can just start to kind of make some laps, and before you know it, we're talking 14, 15-second lap times here. Before you know it, we've clicked off 25, 35, 45 laps. We were talking about that ISMA Super Modified show. We ran 50 laps almost green in 8 minutes. Things happen in a hurry, and sometimes once they start to get strung out a little bit, a lot of those green flag runs start to happen, but those restarts, that's where the action can really start to make up, and the close quarters here at Flamboro Speedway, that's where it gets entertaining.
I'm trying to find the moon cycles to see if
that's great.
that's got anything to do with it.
You're going to consult the calendar. My theory is this. These race car drivers are all very good and very competitive. They're good at what they do, and they understand when you come to Flamboro, there has to be some give and take. But it's like being at work. Everyone has that one person at work that when they get wound up, it winds up everybody, right? It's just infectious. Racing is just like that. If one driver is having a bad night and starts to get a little bit rowdy, it gets infectious very, very quickly, and one person quickly becomes 3 angry drivers, and then 6 angry drivers, and then everyone's ticked off, and there's way more take than there is give, and that's how nights go off the rails, in my opinion.
I'm going to have to ask ChatGPT what a waxing gibbous moon does to caution flags at Flamboro Speedway.
Well, Jamie Maudsley refers to ChatGPT, and we thank you, folks, for being orderly down there on the front straightaway as we prepare to open the track for the autograph session. Clinton Jeffrey earlier on had a chance to talk with Jake Sheridan, one of the fierce competitors in the APC series.
We're here with Jake Sheridan. Jake, pre-race.
It was there, and then it wasn't. We'll get back to that feature shortly. So we can see the drivers making their way towards their cars on the front stretch. The pit crews are coming down.
Looks like Clint's going to have to do all his interviews live during the autograph session here, I guess.
Yes, Clinton, you're going to have to remember word for word what every driver said so you can repeat them.
I will say one thing. I just see there's a lot of little fans down there at the front stretch grandstand. I remember when I was a kid, I always thought autograph sessions were so cool. You get up and close, you see how big the race cars actually are. Just gets you excited. You get a couple signatures, maybe a couple pieces of candy. Your night is set. You remember those memories for a long time.
And you get up close to being able to touch these race cars, and that's just so cool. I'm still a big kid. I still like getting up close and personal with them. Let's get up close and personal with Connor Pritico.
Well, guys, here with Connor Pritico. Connor, you had a bad wreck, pretty much lap 2 or 3 of the first race of the year. Terrible start to your season, but you guys have rebuilt this car and are ready to rebound. How do you get behind the wheel and make sure you turn this into a better start to your season?
The guys on McCall's did a really good job getting this thing put back together. We went out to Friday night there last week at Delaware Speedway and just did a little shakedown, and the car felt really good. So I'm feeling pretty confident here at Flamboro Speedway right now, so I'm excited to see how we do.
What's the biggest thing concerns you today, or what's something you guys are working on to get better for tonight's 100-lap?
We're just a little bit off with the rear stagger right now, so we're kind of chasing that, but Danny Benedict and the boys made some big changes on this number 19 machine, and I think it's going to come to life.
All right, good luck today, Connor.
Thank you.
Connor Pritico, guys, another guy trying to rebound from a rough start to his 2026 APC late model season.
One of the best ways to rebound from a bad race is to start on the pole of the next one with a fast race car, Jamie.
Most definitely, and he's a former Delaware Speedway track champ, winner on tour on the Great Canadian at Delaware Speedway, as well as a Canada Day race. And we'll go part 2 on the interview with Jake Sheridan.
We're here with Jake Sheridan. Jake, pre-race, what's the big thing you guys are working on today as the crew tries to get you in better shape for tonight?
We were a little more on our ball today. We had some more time to prepare. We had some shocks and a bunch of springs to change and a lot of things to try today, which we're doing really, really well with. Just got a bit of a hold up here on track now, costing us some time. But I think we're fighting the temperature a little bit right now. Track seems pretty hot, so we got a good piece. Just got to work for the nighttime.
How do you anticipate it changing as the sun goes down here this evening?
Well, I don't think it's going to be quite as free as the track is built to me, as it seems like it has in practice here. Like we were out the first run and I felt really good, and I feel like we're just chasing our tails a little bit here with the temperature. So we're trying to just try and stick to our notes, try and stick to that first session a bit, and hopefully we're dialed in the right way. You never know with these things; you can go the right or the wrong way pretty easily with these cars. So I got some pretty stiff competition. The 30 and the 22 there seem pretty quick. So hopefully we can go the right way.
Good luck tonight, Jake.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Jake Sheridan, guys, comes into today looking for a big win.
He's definitely a pre-race favorite for this one. Always, any track where you need to get your elbows up to really be successful is one where I want Jake Sheridan on my team.
I think I'd take Jake Sheridan pretty much any racetrack. Elbows up, elbows down, elbows out to sides. He can drive anything and has. Started his career in a dirt go-kart, micro sprint, and then both him and Nick raced down in the Tilsonburg area, Chesterman's, and then it came time to step up the big cars. Nick went dirt racing, Jake's went asphalt racing, and both have had dynamite careers since graduating from the micros.
I want to talk about another driver who's a bit of an interesting story. Mike Bentley was one of the early supporters of the APC series when it first started, and he was a driver who had a lot of speed, struggled to get to the end of these races. Took some time off, and he's back again. Without quite as much speed as he once had, what's it going to take for him to get over the hump and be there at the finish of these races?
Well, in order to put up those finishes, you got to last till the end of the race. So you got to make sure that the nut and bolt check and all the maintenance stuff is done at the shop first and foremost, and you got to not put yourself in bad positions. And that's the one thing I noticed specifically during Brandon Watson's run as two-time series champion, his 18 career victories. He was always so methodical and never put himself in a bad position. And if you can avoid that, your chances of getting to the end of the race, where as soon as you get to the end of the race, now you've got a shot to do something, have improved. So the biggest thing is, again, your maintenance program's got to be good, your equipment's got to be good, and you've got to have that patience, know when to go and when to not go.
Well, let's see what he had to say a couple of months ago. We had the chance to sit down and get up close and personal. Mike, when it comes to fast race cars, you always show up with one. How is that?
It comes down to just being prepared in the shop, getting the car to where it needs to be, and just coming in with the mindset that you're going to be good, and then just getting out there and getting up on the wheel.
For the last few years, when you are at the track, it seems like quite often that's where it ends. Like there's different disappointment, but it seems recurring. What is it that's keeping you from getting the results that you deserve? Like you've got the speed.
Yeah.
It's obvious the car is there.
Yeah.
Like, has there been strange problems, or are they different things?
Yeah, I mean, I took some time off, married my wife, Amanda, and we had a beautiful baby, and now it's, I just didn't have the full effort into it that I needed to, and just trying to come out and have some fun. I'm just trying to really swing things around and get back to where I know this team can be and where I could be as a driver.
Do you put any thought into racing luck?
I do, yes. You make your own luck, and sometimes it can be lost in the shop. Sometimes it can be lost on the track, just not making the right moves, the right time, getting too aggressive, which I've been known for sometimes, get too aggressive too early, and just changing that mindset, I think can put me back to being up front again.
What do you do? What do you do to help with that?
Just for me, I've been honestly all off season, just been trying to change my mindset to being like I know I got the speed, I know I can drive. Why am I putting myself in situations I don't need to be in? Why, I can't sit there and try and prove something on the first lap. I've got to get back to basics and just be there at the end.
We're pretty impartial. I want a good show.
Yeah.
It helps me.
Yeah.
My job is easier when it's exciting.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, I want to see the 51 car, see a checkered flag. I'd love for you to win, but fourth, fifth place, like those are the things
for sure.
And I hate to keep coming back to it, but I think if you didn't have so much speed, it wouldn't be such a big deal. So you're a second generation racer.
Yep.
Do you get much advice from from the old man?
Yeah, no, the old man. He's always, he's the one that I watched when I was a kid, running with the checkered flag down, Flamboro Speedway, and then back when it's dirt down there, running and watching my dad on the track, and him being in victory lane, and that's what drove me to be where I am. Like won a championship and multiple big races throughout the province. I know that I'm capable of being there again, and I do see my hand out with that checkered flag this year for sure.
It's interesting to me that you say that, because I can remember. Are you familiar with who Brett Hearn is?
Yes, yeah.
Dirt modified racer with 900 wins. The last race he won, the last big race, was in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And in victory lane, he said, I hadn't pictured myself crossing the checkered flag first. I hadn't pictured myself driving into victory lane.
Yeah.
Someone with 900 wins, but how important is that mental side of things?
I think it's the key in racing. All these guys are accomplished drivers. They've spent years and years, working on their craft. They're, from go-karts up to, junior late models and mini stocks up to super stocks up to pro late models. Some guys have gone up into, running NASCAR, right? So these guys are good. And I think what it comes down to is just that confidence, and then also seeing where you can be at the end of that race, whether you're up front or you see yourself having bad luck again, is a big difference in how you finish, I think.
And I think having a kid doesn't hurt either.
No.
Like changes perspective on,
Yes, it
on
does.
everything in life.
Yeah, no, it's my beautiful daughter and my wife, and it's one of those things where I want to see her seeing me in victory lane, and doing stuff like that is something to make me proud of a great father, and you see that that I can be a champion again and also in victory lane.
Yep. So what are the goals?
Goals this year: come out to win. This year is to show what I'm capable of again, be there for the championship too. So that's the goals this year.
I really enjoyed that conversation with Mike Bentley.
Definitely, Mike is an interesting fella, and looks like he's focused. Again, looks like he's got all those. Not that the family's a distraction, right? But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's got his priorities are right. He looks relaxed, focused, and I think that's what was missing. If I think back to the early days, I would never use the term chill about Mike Bentley. He always had just a look, the eye of the tiger going on, and I think that might have bit him a couple of times. But I really want to see him get to the end of some of these races, because once that happens, he's going to get to the end of some of these races closer and closer to the front.
And he's definitely been competitive over the years. We've seen it before. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight.
One of the other themes, we've talked to Dale Shaw a little bit over the last little while, and he's the one that I really remember saying, these APC races, you have to run 100 time trial laps. Like the green flag flies, and you can't pace yourself because everybody is racing so hard, and the tires will put up with it. You have to drive them hard.
And again, we were talking about that qualifying record that Brandon Watson had. It was a much softer tire back then, and you really did have to police and look after those tires over the course of the night. And again, Dale's told me that same thing that he told you. It's like everybody's just doing 100 qualifying laps out there. Like, you have to drive these cars as hard as you can every single lap, and there is not a lot of give up in these tires from, and it's normal for us to check the times and see that the guy's run his best lap on lap 92 of 100 or lap 88 of 100. Like, the track will get faster as the night goes on, but the tires just don't seem to give up.
And Kevin, this is something you could shed some light on, because when it comes to weekly racing, whether it's Flamboro Speedway or anybody else, there are generally tire rules that prohibit teams from putting on 4 tires every night.
Yeah, it's a little different. I mean, with our Flamboro Grisdale Showdown Series for our pro late models here, it's different because we basically have a 1 tire rule a race. When you show up, you get 1 tire. So you have to be strategic as to where you're going to put that tire, how much you're going to wear out the other tires. And in the 50-lap races, they're more of we're going to call it a sprint race, per se, maybe those tires don't fall off quite as much as they do over the course of a 100-lap race. So you do have to kind of be cautious, though, because sure, you can go out here and you can bolt on 4 new sticker tires and be lightning fast for the first 25 laps, but who knows what that handling is going to do as soon as those stickers start to wear off. So on the weekly stuff, when you have to kind of manage the tires, it becomes a whole different ball game, and we saw it last year a couple times where you could tell guys were on sticker tires because they were really fast, and a lot of guys were kind of saving their stuff for some of the bigger races. So it definitely does make a bit of a difference, and especially like you guys said out here, guys are putting on tires. The field is going to be tight all the way through the field, from first all the way to the back of the field, because there's not that much time difference between the whole field.
The one thing about here of Flamboro Speedway, this track takes so much rubber over the course of the night. You would have no idea. And now you're talking about the Can-Am midgets who've got 45 laps in of racing around here tonight. And how does that react with the tire that are on these late models? The last time I had the opportunity to race here at Flamboro Speedway, and again, I am no expert. I've been in a car a handful of times in my life, but ran the heat race. Later on in the night, I ran the feature, and I got back to the trailer. And again, I'm a novice racer. But I knew I was going as fast or as hard as I was in the heat race. And I'm looking at the clock, and it's like, well, wait a minute, I'm 0.2 of a second slower than I was in the heat race. Then the guy who was crew chief informed me for the night, said, well, not only were you 0.2 of a second slower in the feature, everybody else was 0.2 of a second slower in the feature. And then I got to thinking, okay, now this track, now that I think about it, there was so much more rubber in the corners by the time we went out for the feature than the heat races. So this track really does take that much rubber, and I think that the play could be interesting between what they've laid down from the TQs to the late models.
Look where we're at right now. It is 7:56 p.m. Turns 1 and 2 are now in full shade. Well, turn 2 is. Turn 1 is about to be. So it'll be another 45 minutes at least until turns 3 and 4 are full shade. But once that sun dips down, that it's not feeling warm on your skin anymore, it gets cold in Flamboro.
Yeah, as soon as that big, what we call it last year, the fireball. As soon as the fireball sets off of turn 2, it changes drastically, and that weather really does change. And it also changes, like you said, Jamie, how much tire and how much rubber is actually going to go down on the speedway when the heater basically turns off and it sets over turn number 2.
So it's a big difference maker. Let's go to another feature we ran in the offseason. We had the opportunity to ask a bunch of these drivers a few different questions, and one of the things we asked them was, who is your racing role model? Who is your racing role model and why?
Probably my dad. I mean, he didn't race a whole lot. I never got to see him race. Everything I know about racing, it all comes from him. So we're both learning at the same time, but he's teaching me what he already knows.
I kind of have two. I got the local boy of Steve Robley, obviously I've looked up for a very long time, and I also have my father-in-law, Jamie Cox, who puts the hours in on his cars, works everything, does everything that he can by himself. Just, you look up to these people that hopefully one day someone can look up to me like I look up to them.
I'd say my racing role model would be my dad. That's who I grew up watching. Another one would be Junior Hanley. New guys that, made a statement all across North America.
I never really considered myself to have a role model when it came to racing, but over the past few years, being with my now fiance, Jake Sheridan, he has completely opened my eyes to just how insightful, like he is so insightful, and he has taught me so much about different things when it comes to actually racing, the, politics, for the lack of a better term, around racing, and so many things mechanically. But it's crazy to think about how young he is and how successful he was when he first started racing in APC. So I would have to say at this point in time, he's absolutely my role model. I look up to him for a lot of things.
I'm a big Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan. I've always have been since I was a kid, and just the stuff that he does for short track racing, I mean, it's pretty relatable to what we're doing, but to see him, I like history, so to see him bring places like North Wilkesboro back and how involved he is with the Cars Tour, I think it's absolutely amazing what he's doing for short track racing.
Junior Hanley, he's been my hero since I was a kid, who I'm named after. I don't think anybody works harder and has achieved more in Canadian motorsports than him, so he's the ultimate for me.
Absolutely, my dad. Just just so in touch with my whole career, really. Taught me a lot, was hard on me, taught me the hard ways. And then later in my career, just kind of let loose and let me learn the hard way for sure, which I think is going to pay dividends longer in my career.
I was always a big Jeff Gordon fan just because, he was going up against the Intimidator back in his time, and always looked up to him. But, watching my cousin race, he had a very similar driving style to that and just kind of followed both their paths.
So growing up, it would have been my dad, Tim Watson, just because every weekend was spent at the racetrack, throughout the week spent working on the car, helping out as much as I could. Not really working, but probably causing more trouble than working, but just growing up around the racetrack and then always watching him until I forced him to retire.
That was a great closer. And with Father's Day coming up, most of them said, their dads. Folks, we hope you have enjoyed the autograph session on the front straightaway. We do need to ask that you start making your way back to the grandstand so we can get underway shortly with pre-race festivities. We're going to take another quick break here at Flamboro Speedway. When we come back, we're going to be that much closer to the green flag of the Grisdale 100.
The My Race Pass app is your motorsports headquarters on race night. With over 800 organizations across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the My Race Pass app today in Google Play and the App Store. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races streaming all season long. Watch anytime, anywhere on your phone, tablet, or TV apps. Get a 10-year archive of grassroots races, plus behind-the-scenes NASCAR team coverage. And when the spotlight turns to Trans Am, Racing America brings you front-row access to the action. This is racing at every level. This is Racing America.
Looking for fast-paced action? Get your heart racing at Cordia Motor Speedway. Catch the best drivers from the Southeast compete on the high-speed 3/8 mile oval right in Cordele, Georgia. Just a half mile from I-75 at exit 104. Join us for a fun, family-friendly atmosphere for fans and drivers alike. For more information on upcoming events, visit CordeleMotorspeedway.com. And if you can't make it to the track, watch the action from Cordele live exclusively on Racing America.
In the fast-paced world of racing, communication is everything. When it comes to at-track communication, Racing Electronics is the leading provider of professional race communications. From driver and crew communications, two-way radios, headsets, scanners, custom hearing protection, and more. Racing Electronics is your go-to destination for all things motorsports. Before the green flag waves, ensure your team is equipped with communication gear from Racing Electronics. Visit a Racing Electronics representative at the track, stop by their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or shop online at racingelectronics.com.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. You can see people starting to clear the front straightaway, and that's going to allow us to get things underway for this Grisdale 100 round 2. And I don't know why it feels like we're deeper into the race season than we are. We're less than a month in, but it feels like it's already been. But I'm not sure why that is. Kevin and Jamie will give you a chance to get settled back in.
We started early this year, and the second race is a couple weeks later than the first one was normally, with just that big gap between race 1 and 2, I think.
It worked out well because a couple of these cars needed some extensive work. But boy, since the switch flipped around the long weekend, I could go for this weather all summer long.
I like this weather. I'm good with 20, 22, a little bit of a breeze. I don't like that 30, 35. That's too hot for me. I run hot, so I like a little cool. A little breeze is nice.
I like the 22 as well, but if I had the choice between the 30 degrees and the 0 degrees, I'll take the 30 degrees anytime.
I'm a plus-size fella, and I will still take the 30 degrees. I vowed not to complain about heat because when it's hot, we get to go racing, and I love that. 100 laps is the distance. Even though some of the drivers say it's like time trial laps each and every lap, we are still going to see them pick and choose their battles. When is it go time? Or am I just full of it and it's go time from the drop of the initial green?
It depends on your perspective and where you're starting from and how your day's gone so far. Obviously, the guys that have struggled in qualifying, they're going to be looking to get positions early and often. A guy like, for example, starting on the outside of the front row, you can take your time. You can give up a spot early knowing that you've only got one spot to get back over the next 100 laps or two spots to get back over the next 100 laps as opposed to everybody at the back of the pack who has to get going.
The other thing, every time I've gone to an APC series race from back to the beginning, the first season where Dale Shaw was the champion, I always felt I knew every race who the favorite was. Whether it was years where Andrew Gressel was lightning fast or years where J.R. Fitzpatrick or many years for Brandon Watson, I don't get that feeling this year.
We've discussed it before. I know that we discussed it preseason. We talked about it at Delaware. There's a legit 10 guys that could win. You've got a whole bunch of previous winners in there, and you've got guys that are on the verge as well. And, again, last call on the front stretch. We do have to get everybody off the front stretch so we can get racing here this evening. So we do need everybody who is not associated with the car to make their way up to the grandstand.
You need to move now or you will be towed. I don't know what that looks like, but we'll send the sweeper out. We'll strap people to it and start towing you back to the
There's no jail built into the stadium here like in Philadelphia, so that's not an option.
I bet you Mike Schmidt would be okay to start hauling people out with a tow strap to the back of the golf cart. What do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah, let's do it. But I do think there's strategy. I still do believe that even though you've got to race hard each and every lap, there's kind of a switch that flips around lap 70 where it's time to go and people are really going to start pushing the envelope where it needs to be pushed.
It's just like anything else. The fewer laps left on the scoreboard, the more the intensity ramps up.
But to my point of not having a favorite, and I don't want to offend anybody, but Kyle Steckley, dominant racer, like definitely a favorite. Oh, wait, or is Brandon Watson the winningest driver ever, or the dominant driver for years? Oh, wait, or is it Jake Sheridan, who's never been better in that 52? Or is it defending champion Josh Stoddy in the 17? And I'm not talking they're good. I'm talking these guys are excellent.
You got other former winners in the field. Connor Pritico's been to victory lane a couple times. Junior Farley's been to victory lane. Dale Shaw and Sean Chenoweth both have been to victory lane here at Flamboro Speedway. So there's just 8 guys right there that have been to victory lane before, know how to get it done. And I think, again, you're going to see another Flamboro regular here today who's already having a pretty good day, Tyler DiVincenzo in that 97D.
But that feels different to me this year than it has in years past, and I don't know why. Maybe it's me who has changed, but it just feels different.
So again, our winner season opener was Josh Stoddy. We're back in action 2 weeks from tonight at Peterborough Speedway. Dayco Superstocks will be joining the field of late models at Peterborough. Then 2 weeks after that, it'll be the annual Canada Day. Oh, look at that. How's that for a segue? We've got June 13th, round 3 at Peterborough Speedway. Then June 27th, the AC Delco 159. Celebrating Canada's 159th birthday. That's at Delaware Speedway. And then we'll be back here for one of my favorite races of the year. Of course, our friend Mike Schmidt, a sponsor for London Recreational Racing 125 at Flamboro Speedway. And that's another aspect we're going to see probably more prominently later in the season. But a lot of races with ramped up lap totals, Adam. A lot of places that were 100 laps now. For example, Delaware Speedway, 159 laps. When we come back here the next time, it's going to be 125 laps. There's a longer race distance at Sauble Speedway later on in the year, and of course the Great Canadian 300, now back to 300 laps again. So the laps have ramped up, but it hasn't really impacted anything other than just giving us longer amounts of good racing on that night.
No, and that's just the case, right? It's just that much longer. You have to race really hard and stay with the pack. But I do think there's drivers that are suited to longer races. And in my mind, it's those drivers whose fuses are a little bit longer. They can withstand more aggravation.
Definitely. The tolerant drivers, if you will.
That's one way to look at it.
Here you see Kyle Steckley down there chatting with his crew member before he gets to climb aboard that 22 machine.
You know what I noticed a lot of people admiring when the Super Modifieds were here just a couple of weeks ago? The Flamboro Speedway pace car.
That's old school.
Oh, it's mint. It got some conversation and it got some love. Jamie, we're being told it is time to introduce the starting grid for tonight's Crysdale 100. We will start from the back of the field moving forward, starting shotgun on the field here tonight from Oswego, the Glenn Stiers Racing Chantarelli Oswego Speedway number 0. It's Glenn Stiers.
Inside of the final row in the Mobile 1, number 2, out of Innisfil. Put your hands together for Kendra Adams.
You can see John Casale down there, Alex Nagy down there to greet all the drivers and wish them luck. Next up, we just featured him in a interesting interview. The driver from Hamilton looking for a great run tonight. The Bennett Construction Group Platinum 1 Contracting number 51, Mike Bentley.
Inside of Bentley in the 23 machine from Innisfil, Ontario. The Awesome Racewear Paragon Office Installations Metalogics machine. It's Connor Maltese.
Behind the wheel of the number 17 defending series champion from Chesley, the Canadian Flat Roof Systems, Canada Clean Fuels, Vinnie's Masonry, APC number 17, Josh Stoddy.
And alongside Stoddy, he's a former Grisdale Triple Crown champ here at Flamboro Speedway. He drives the APC Canusa Miami Muscle number 3 from Dorchester. Give it up for Shay Gemmel.
John Casale with a big smile on his face greeting Shay, even though he's written him some big checks. Next up in the number 83 out of Guelph, the Shaw Motorsports Wellington Systems sponsored number 83, Dale Shaw.
In the Burns Apparel, Home Hardware, Castro Wakefield, Canada, Armor All number 72 from Guelph. Put your hands together for Junior Farley.
To the outside of row number 3, another driver from Guelph, the Hudco Electric Supply, Adams Building Supply, Nav Canada, MRC Wireless number 97D. It's Tyler DiVincenzo.
On the inside of row 3 in the VP Racing, Stewart's Equipment, London Recreational Racing, Tri-County Sandblasting, number 89C from Drumbo. Give it up for Sean Chenoweth.
You always have to leave a few seconds because I don't know who Sean brings to the racetrack, but he's got a loud cheering section. Got to give them their moment to shine.
Half of Interkip's here, I think.
Row number 2 on the outside from Mount Bridges. The Reynolds Trucking and Harvesting, Raptor Filters, Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, number 52, Jake Sheridan.
And on the inside of row 2, he drives the Ellis Dawn, Dutch Brother Concrete, Gallagher Insurance, number 30 from Stainer, Ontario. 2-time series champ and all-time winning driver on tour. Give it up for Brandon Watson.
Now to the front row on the outside of row number 1 from Milverton. The APC Auto Parts Centers, Pennzoil, Dayco, A.W. Millwright Stewart's Equipment, number 22, Kyle Steckley. Milverton also travels well, Jamie.
And on the pole for tonight's feature event, he drives the H&N Roofing, Dumas Development, Southwest Property, Glencoe Recycling, number 19. He's a former Delaware Speedway late model champ, former APC Great Canadian 300 winner. Give it up for your pole sitter tonight, Connor Pritico.
Race fans, that is your starting grid for tonight's Grisdale 100. We will take a break here on Racing America. And when we come back, it's time for the most famous words in motorsport.
Looking to start a new career path in motorsports or searching for something new in your racing journey? Racer Jobs is your destination for providing the most current job openings from top racing teams, manufacturers, sanctioning bodies, and suppliers. Whether you're a budding race engineer, a seasoned mechanic, or a marketing ace, we consistently refresh our listings with new roles that could meet your ambitions. Looking for a great candidate as an employer? Then tap into our Racer Jobs audience and database to find that perfect candidate. Go to racerjobs.com today.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Can't hear on the phone? You're not alone. With Roger Voice, every phone call comes with real-time captions, even on video calls, so you can read what's being said as it happens. Adjust the language and text size to fit your needs for a more comfortable experience. Free and unlimited. Roger Voice is certified by the FCC. Download it today and stay connected with ease.
Across multiple forms of motorsports, you'll always have the information you need in the palm of your hand. Race day information with official entries, lineups, live timing, and drag racing timing slips, official results, point standings, announcer audio, fantasy racing, and so much more. Don't be left in the dark on race night. Download the My Race Pass app today in Google Play and the App Store. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Welcome to RacingAmerica.tv. From the local short tracks to the road racing stars of Trans Am, we have you covered. Subscribe now for live access to over 200 grassroots races
The sunlight
all
is going
season
to be
long.
a challenge for the first part of this race for drivers. Just as you break down into turn number 1, that's where the sun's going to be the brightest for these racers.
Definitely going to be challenging down into turn 1. It is bright. We are up above turn 1 in the VIP tower, and it is bright from our right coming over that turn 2 area.
I love this vantage point. If I could be at this spot at every racetrack I announce at, I think I would be ecstatic. I don't know why that is. Start-finish line, it's like watching a tennis match. There's a lot of left, right.
A lot of turning your head, yeah.
I feel like we don't miss much. Don't quote me on that, though. Don't hold me to that.
You might feel like we don't miss much.
Let's send it trackside to Clinton Jeffrey for the most famous words in motorsport.
Well, a little bit of preparation going down here, Adam. We're just waiting for the final cue from the tower to let us know. Drivers getting buckled in and ready. A lot of the window nets coming up. Looks like most of them are ready. We got the okay. Now we have a special guest here, young Jace's 4th birthday. Jace, don't say it yet, but are you ready? Yeah? Okay. 3, 2, 1, give it to me really loud. Go for it.
Driver, start your engine!
All right. How about it for young Jace? That might have been the best one we've had.
You can tell that kid's been to the racetrack before. He knew the mission.
He did. I was wondering what everyone was doing kneeling down there. Like you could see them getting low, but I didn't see the star of the show from up here.
They helped him, but I don't think they needed to. He knew the assignment.
Yep. He knew what was what.
That's it. Like our opening night at Delaware this year, the music, we had to fail, so I had to do the anthem, and it was only because I knew you can't say, "Gentlemen, start your engines" till you do the anthem.
That's right. That's right. I don't think I've ever sang. Now, that's not true. I have sang the anthem without a microphone when the anthem singer has forgotten the words. And I stand behind them and kind of sing the next line. And it was appreciated.
Do you do hand signals behind them at the same time? Sign language?
Nothing appropriate, no.
No.
Sometimes there's hand signals.
My first job was a narrator for Bad Mimes.
A narrator for Bad Mimes?
Took you a minute, didn't it?
Well, here I'm getting super serious instruction from our producer behind the scenes. And Jamie is being Jamie. And I wouldn't want it any other way. Look at that sweet pace car.
The pace car and the scoreboard lit up. Those were the 2 comments I've heard so far this season.
People are big fans of the scoreboard. Well, how long did you go without using that pace car?
This is the first full time since I've been here, so it's been at least 4 or 5 years at least. So I'm surprised it's still running. Got a little tune-up apparently over the winter.
Wow.
That's like just post-bandit era Trans Am.
For some reason, I went down a Jerry Reed rabbit hole this weekend while I was driving.
Do tell.
I just love that man and caught some interviews about what he did in his life and some of the fun that he's had. And I don't know what made me think of him, but there are some good interviews out there with him.
I am not a huge country western fan, but I do know every word to Eastbound and Down because I've watched the movie about 100 times.
Have you heard of Elvis Presley?
Rumor has it, yeah.
I'll get back to it. Let's have a look at our ones to watch first. And we're at Flamboro Speedway. So the first of our Stewart's Equipment ones to watch, Kyle Steckley behind the wheel of the number 22. Our next ones to watch, he shows up to the track with a chip on his shoulder, and I think it's his superpower. It is the 52 of Jake Sheridan. My Jerry Reed story. He wrote the song Guitar Man. Elvis Presley heard it, needed to record it, went into the studio with the best musicians in the world, couldn't get the sound they wanted. And finally someone said, you can't get the sound you want because it's not Jerry Reed using the claw to play the guitar. So Jerry Reed, he was fishing, and they got him into the studio, and he played. We've got onboard cameras tonight, race fans. That is very cool. We're on board with Josh Stotty, APC 17. So Jerry Reed showed up from fishing, smelling like fish, played the song. They spent a great few hours in the studio, but then the Colonel said it's customary with Elvis that he gets half credit for writing the song when he releases your song. So Jerry Reed, as he walked out of the studio, said, thank you all for a great day. I had a lot of fun playing with you, but that's not the way this goes. I wrote that song, and that's how it's going to be, and left. Nobody had ever done that to the Colonel, but Jerry Reed has the only writing credit on that song with Elvis recording.
He was the only one on that song, and he got the Coors Light back from Texarkana.
That's right. And then that was in the interview as well, but I just thought, man, that's cool.
I've been rubbing off on you. That was story time with Adam Ross right there.
Right? I enjoy it so much, but I figure sooner or later he's got to run out of stories, so... And what's more racing related than Jerry Reed? Those movies directed by Hal Needham. Hal Needham, a NASCAR team owner.
Who produced the movie Stroker Ace with Burt Reynolds in it.
The best movie of all time, arguably. So Glenn Stiers did not turn a qualifying lap in that 0 car. But he was quick in practice. He was right around the middle of the pack in speed in practice. So let's see how things go.
Of course, the one car not making the grid here tonight. If you are tuning in late, Ray Morneau had an oil line come off in practice. Ended up bending the rear clip on that 30 machine down here in turn 1.
Back the car hard into the fence in turn number 1.
Lights are off on the pace car, or
they are off. That's the sun reflecting off the lights that are making them look.
I did see the one to go. So the field is in the hands of Connor Pritico, 4-time winner here at Flamboro. Kyle Steckley on his outside first green flag of the night. We are off and running 100 laps for the APC United Late Model Tour here at Flamboro Speedway.
Initial green flag at Flamboro. Advantage normally goes to the driver on the outside, able to keep their momentum up on the high side. Connor Pritico, though, using as much racetrack as he can, but it'll be Kyle Steckley who leads lap 1.
Drysdale 100 underway here at Flamboro Speedway. We're a lap and a half in. You've got Pritico on the bottom, Steckley up top. Couple of talented youngsters. It's the Dumas development. Number 19, Kilworth's Connor Pritico by half a car length. Steckley way up the speedway, opens the door, and here comes Brandon Watson.
That car got real loose on Kyle Steckley through turns 1 and 2. Brandon Watson to his inside. Steckley still hard on the hammer.
Steckley trying to make that outside groove work, but he's got to take a look to the inside now. Jake Sheridan's going to pull up in that Raptor Filters number 52 machine to the inside. Steckley might get trapped up on that outside groove, trying to see if he can maybe find a lane, and he will. Back into 1 and 2. Steckley now back to 4th, but he does finally get to the inside groove.
Fires in the line right in front of Sean Chenoweth in 4th spot, right behind Jake Sheridan in 3rd. Out front, it's Connor Pritico. He's a 2-time winner on tour, both at Delaware. Brandon Watson, all-time winningest driver on tour. He's got 2 wins here at Flamboro Speedway back in 2021 as well as 2017.
One driver outside of the top 10, but looking to crack in is Mike Bentley in the 51. Showed a nose to our defending champion, Josh Stoddy, and he's actually running a lower line on the racetrack, but it is really gripping well on the extreme inside.
And behind Bentley now, Maltese has dropped a couple car lengths back of that Platinum 1 machine of Bentley. Out front, all Connor Pritico. He's got Watson in tow, a couple car lengths back. It's a few more car lengths back to Jake the Snake Sheridan. Steckley runs fourth, Chenoweth fifth, and Junior Farley up into sixth.
As you can see down the backstretch, it is in shade now. Really, turn 4 is the only sunshine, and halfway down the front stretch, the rest of the racetrack in shade. That is going to make a difference. 1 and 2 is not the same as 3 and 4, but with the weather the way it is, with the sun the way it is, there's a bigger difference.
Yeah, cars really need to get way tighter down in turn 1 and 2 than it is at the southern end of the Speedway. Connor Pritico comfortable out front right now since taking that lead away. Again, he's got 2 wins on tour. He's the former 2024 Delaware Speedway late model champ. Has yet to win away from Delaware Speedway.
He's about to feel Brandon Watson in that 30 car. Watson is right there on the rear deck lid of the 19 of Connor Pritico. And how about the KG veteran Sean Chenoweth? Settled into the 5th spot, turning laps right now. Could this be the night where we see Sean get back to the podium for the first time in a long time?
Yeah, Chenoweth's last victory all the way back in 2015, so it's been a long time ago for the driver of the 89C. Right now he's got a whole mirror full of Junior Farley in the 72, DiVincenzo right behind Farley. Then Shea Gemmel now up into 8th spot in the 3 machine.
Brandon Watson looks to be a little faster right now than Connor Pritico, but most of his speed appears to be right through the center of the corner. And it's not enough to get to the inside of Pritico on corner exit, but it's enough to keep him right there at the rear bumper of that number 19.
We talked earlier about when is the time to go. Well, Brandon Watson is really applying a lot of pressure to the back bumper of that number 19 machine. So maybe Watson says, hey, you know what? Maybe I want to get out front and start to lead this thing early on. Pritico really feeling the pressure, though, from that 30 machine as Jake Sheridan now closes on the back bumper of those top 2 as well. Pritico still out front here as we work lap number 17.
This is number 12 for the United APC Late Model Tour. We've had 3 two-time champions, as here's one of them making a bid for the lead. Watson to the inside of Pritico, a little contact off of turn 4, a little bit of rubbing. Pritico still at the line, but now it's going to be Watson by half a car length, Watson by a whole car length, and here comes Jake the Snake Sheridan as well.
Sheridan's not going to let the opportunity pass him by. The door open. He is going to stick his nose in there. Here comes Kyle Steckley as well, but I'm not sure if Steckley quite has the run to keep the 22 inside. He tried.
Couldn't quite get there. Pritico able to slide in line behind that number 52 machine. Now Kyle Steckley goes to the back bumper of the number 19 machine. Steckley looking for a little bit more after starting on the front row. Maybe applying a little bit of pressure. And then you talked earlier, Sean Chenoweth closing that gap there as well. We talked about the drivers kind of single filing themselves out and running those qualifying times. Look at how close they are up off of turn number 2 as Junior Farley and Sean Chenoweth, a little contact down the back straightaway.
Right in front of them, contact between Steckley and Pritico down the backstretch. Steckley's going to mosey on by on the inside. Pritico's going to try to get in line in 4th. He'll tuck in a line in front of Chenoweth. But Connor Pritico, who led the early portion of this one, now finds himself all the way back in 4th spot.
And I don't know if the contact was between Steckley and Pritico, or Pritico just put himself into the wall a little bit. When the car hits the wall here, the walls are at an angle, so it kind of spits it a couple of feet off the wall.
Otherwise known as the launching pad. Sometimes. Out front, all Brandon Watson. He's opened up 5 car lengths. There's the 3rd place Kyle Steckley. Connor Pritico in 4th. There's your leader in the Ellis Don Gallagher Insurance Port City Race Cars entry. two-time series champ Brandon Watson now being pursued by Jake the Snake Sheridan at Raptor Filter 52.
Top two trying to separate themselves out. One battle a little bit deeper in the field. That 97D of Tyler DiVincenzo and Shea Gemmel in the 3 as they come underneath the stripe. Gemmel this time is going to take a peek to the inside. Little contact into 1 and 2. Gemmel slides underneath that 97D. That maybe wasn't the cleanest of passes, but Shea Gemmel slides that number 3 machine. APC Canusa Automotive Warehousing number 3 up another spot. Gemmel, no stranger to victory lane here at Flamboro Speedway. He's maybe trying to make a little bit of room here as he's up to 7th spot now as we work lap 27. Keep an eye on that number 3 as he marches towards the front.
The last 4 or 5 laps, Brandon Watson and Jake Sheridan are swapping back and forth, turning faster laps. Which is interesting because normally through a portion of the race, one driver's faster than the other, and that's how it goes. But right now, I don't know if these drivers are searching around a little bit.
So everybody's still in the lead lap. We'll set the field for you real quick before they get into lap traffic. Brandon Watson, your leader in the 30. The 52 of Sheridan goes second. 22 of Steckley third. Pritico fourth in the 19. Chenoweth fifth in the 89. 6th is Junior Farley. 7th, Shea Gemmel. 8th, Tyler DiVincenzo. 9th is Dale Shaw. 10th is Josh Stoddy. 11th, Mike Bentley. 12th, Connor Maltese. 13th, Kendra Adams. Again, last car still running on the lead lap. Glenn Stiers in the 0.
Josh Stoddy just made a move on Dale Shaw to pick up that 9th position. It's a little surprising to see Stoddy back that far in the 17 car.
This is the defending series champ, winner of the season opener at Delaware Speedway back in early May. First time he was ever able to get to victory lane at Delaware. There's Junior Farley and that battle going on. Him, Shea Gemmel, and the 89C of Chenoweth. And Gemmel has caught the 72 of Farley. He is knocking at the back door right now in the 3.
And those are 2 drivers that are super aggressive out there on the racetrack. So that pack of 4 cars, Connor Pritico leading the way over Sean Chenoweth, Junior Farley, Shea Gemmel.
See the overhead drone shot there as they come up off of turn number 2. Shea Gemmel trying to make a move on that 72 of Junior Farley. We talked a little earlier, guys, about rubber getting laid down. You can really start to see that black strip coming up off of turn number 4. It's going to affect the handling just a little bit on these race cars as we've run a 35-lap green flag run. So far, clean and green, and Brandon Watson out front, but that battle between Connor Pritico, Sean Chenoweth, Junior Farley, Shea Gemmel continues to rage on as they head back to 1 and 2.
And from the drone footage, you can see the unique marketing strategy of the 72. So we've got that pass going on right now, Chenoweth to the inside of Pritico. But right behind them, when you see the drone footage over top of the 72, no number on the roof of Junior Farley's car, just a big Home Hardware logo.
He's no dummy.
There it is.
Sean Chenoweth gets around Pritico. Junior Farley able to close in and make sure he's not going to pass up the opportunity. Right behind him, Shea Gemmel doing all but pushing Junior Farley down the front stretch.
Oh, Pritico might have just bounced that right rear off the wall as Gemmel gets to the bottom as well. And he loses 3 spots in just a handful of laps.
Brandon Watson a little bit quicker right now than Jake Sheridan. Kyle Steckley in third, closing the gap on the 52. They've got a bit of daylight back to Sean Chenoweth. Now that Chenoweth has gotten around Pritico, let's see if Junior Farley is able to keep pace with that London Recreational Racing number 89C.
There's a big gap between Sean Chenoweth and that 22 of Kyle Steckley in third. It's almost a straightaway difference between those third and fourth place runners.
Trouble for Josh Stoddy. Slid up the racetrack in turn number 3. Yellow flag is displayed. That had all the looks of a flat right front tire, but the question being, there's no sparks out from under that car. Yes, there is, but no tires are flat.
He did scrape the wall for sure. There's some paint knocked off the right side of that car. Here's the in-car camera from the 17. Oh, yeah, he smacked it good.
Wow, down into turn number 1, and there was just no turn in that 17. So that is one of the things when we talk about every lap being like a qualifying lap and you've got to race them all hard. Josh Dottie just trying to squeeze a little bit of speed out of that 17 that for whatever reason
he jumped the cushion.
Doesn't seem to be there today. And yes, indeed, he jumped the cushion. They're jacking up the right side of the car, looking under the hood. That's Paul Genioli. Having a look at the right front suspension. Mike Bentley in the 51 coming down for what I believe is an air pressure adjustment on the 51.
We're talking about how the 30 and the 52 were trading back fastest laps. I'll tell you who snuck into the whole mix was the 22 of Kyle Steckley. Just before that yellow came out, he found himself right on the rear bumper of Jake Sheridan.
And the start of this race had the look of one that might go the distance, right? You know when a race settles in and you think, okay, these drivers look comfortable right now. They're settled in. So Josh Dottie gave us a yellow, which is going to give us a restart. What a crystal clear onboard image we're getting. Josh Dottie still with all his gear on. Mike Bentley's 51 crew giving him a push. There's Connor Maltese in the 23. And if you're towards the tail of the field, there's no reason not to come into the pits.
Sure, make an adjustment, try to make it better. What's the worst that happens? You make it worse, right?
And even without, measure the tires so you've run 40 laps. Let's see where our stagger's at compared to where we thought it would be. You're not sacrificing anything. I'm sure there's drivers running 5th or 6th that would love to do the same thing, but they're not going to give up their track position.
We saw that from one of our regulars all the time, Joe Lawrence. He made more trips down pit road than any other driver the last 3 or 4 years. And it seemed like at the end of the night, he will have found his way back to the front by those adjustments that they were able to make on his car. The 19 of Pritico back out onto the speedway here.
And by virtue of the free pass, Glenn Steyer should be put back on the lead lap, so that'll put everybody on the lead lap. And that's such a difference from when the series started. We didn't have a field of everybody who could stay on the lead lap.
No, and I think that all went back to when NASCAR went to double file restarts, and it kind of trickled down through the short track world. And if you watch the old NASCAR races where the lead lap guys start on the outside and the lap guys start on the inside compared to what you see now on TV, quite frankly, it's boring.
It was chaos, though. Can you imagine being the 3rd place car? You're restarting 6th. 4th place car restarting 8th. Not only are you restarting 6th and 8th, but it's lap car. It's less than ideal cars starting on the inside.
And usually those lap cars are a lap down because they're not as fast. Choose cone out. Everybody making their best guess of what's going to be to their advantage.
So Mike Bentley went into pit. He's going to restart in the 8th spot. He hasn't been running in the 8th spot. He actually pitted, made adjustments, and improved his running position.
You're looking on the sheet, he was 11th, so 3-position pickup, not bad. After the choose cone, lights are off on our Flamboro Speedway pace car.
And that's another great innovation of stock car racing. Not only have we got the double foul restarts now, which again necessitated the lap dog the lucky dog so guys could get their lap back, but the choose cone just brings another element of strategy into it totally, which is dynamite to watch. So we've got Steckley and Watson on the front row. Row 2, Sheridan and Junior Farley. And we are all set to blast off here. 60 laps to go, 40 in the books. We are back under green for the Grisdale 100.
Oh, Junior Farley up the track. Shea Gemmel just did a very wise thing. He could have forced that issue, but Junior Farley was so far out of shape that it would have wrecked half the field.
Well, I think Shea Gemmel put enough hours in on that car the last few weeks that he didn't want to have to do it again before we go to Peterborough in a few weeks. So wisely let Farley gather it up now. He'll go off under the assault of the 72. Now, here comes Sheridan to the inside of Steckley. He just moved him down into 1.
Steckley trying to run the racing line. Sheridan was down there. Sean Chenoweth to the inside as well. Steckley not giving up in that high groove. Keeps his nose in position, but Jake Sheridan looks like he has cleared that 22.
Oh, Chenoweth just bounced off the 22 as well. And we don't have a whole lot of rivalries in the APC series, but if there's two guys who aren't really big fans of each other, it's Jake Sheridan and Kyle Steckley.
Chenoweth working really hard on the bottom groove to get around that 22 of Kyle Steckley. Steckley, though, trying to maintain up on the top side. A little bit of beating and banging as they head back into 1 and 2. Chenoweth, a little bit of an advantage. This time he's going to scoot underneath and take that third spot away.
Junior Farley tried to close the door on Shea Gemmel. Gemmel finally had enough, kept his nose down there, loosened up the 72 a little bit. Junior Farley not giving up, though. They'll race wheel to wheel. A little bit of contact down into 1 and 2.
Shea Gemmel continuing that run towards the front. How about that? The 3-car. Former Grisdale Triple Crown champ up into the top 5 now after he struggled in qualifying and started deep in this pack.
Gemmel runs really well at Flamboro. Has for years as Dale Shaw gives some bumper loving to Tyler DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo doing a nice job to catch that car as it goes up the racetrack.
Now DiVincenzo, low contact with the 19 of Critico. They're all picking on the 97, the Hugco electrical supply machine. DiVincenzo gets in the line now. He's going to go back under the assault, gets in line in front of Bennett, and he's going to try to get back to the rear bumper of Connor Pritico.
That's twice now where there's been drivers who may have wanted to seek revenge, but they got blocked from doing so because another driver got track position.
Meanwhile, out front, all Brandon Watson here. We're halfway through this one. Our midway leader, Brandon Watson in the Ellis Dawn Port City race car chassis Dutch Brother concrete machine, the Stainer driver, 2-time series champ, and he has set sail out front. 10-car length lead back to Sheridan.
Our McCall Racing Enterprises midway leader is Brandon Watson. Dale Shaw putting the pressure on Junior Farley. That battle for the 6th spot is 4 cars, 3 of them from Guelph.
How about Chenoweth? Once he was able to get by Steckley, kind of put a little distance between himself and the front bumper of that 22. There's that 4-car battle with the 3 drivers from Guelph, and there's Chenoweth up in 3rd right now. And again, you see that gap out back to the 22 now. Sean Chenoweth, we haven't seen a run like this out of the 89 in quite some time.
No, I'm sure he's 10 years younger than he was when they dropped the green flag of this race.
He's doing a good job maintaining pace of that 52 of Jake Sheridan, as well as there's kind of about a 2-car length gap between all of them. We take a peek back to that Junior Farley, Dale Shaw, Pritico, DiVincenzo battle. Shaw really applying pressure to that burn workwear number 72 of Junior Farley. Farley trying to do everything he can to hang on to this, but Dale Shaw might be a little bit quicker. Just can't quite find the racing room as they head back into 3 and 4.
19 of Connor Pritico, places to go for him. He's waiting to see what Shaw can do with Farley. Nothing right here. Shaw will tuck back in line, so will Pritico. And Tyler DiVincenzo, the last part of that quartet, watching all the action in front of him.
Brandon Watson continuing to be just a little bit faster than the 2nd place car. Jake Sheridan pulling away slightly from Sean Chenoweth, but losing a little bit of that 30 of Brandon Watson each and every lap that goes by.
Watson still out front in this field. Again, take a peek at that Junior Farley, Dale Shaw, Connor Pritico. Want to take a quick peek right behind them. Mike Bentley, Kendra Adams, Connor Maltese. They are bumper to bumper, and Adams has actually put a little bit of beating and banging on the back bumper of the 51 as they head back into 3 and 4.
Give him a little tap between 1 and 2. Bentley's car seems to be a little off in the middle of the corner. She's got Connor Maltese right behind her, so a great 3-car battle there for the 10th spot.
Action all over this 3rd mile Flamboro Speedway. Brandon Watson, Jake Sheridan, Sean Chenoweth, Kyle Steckley, Shea Gemmel, your top 5 as we work lap number 60. Guys, we talked earlier, those long green flags runs, well, it's starting to happen here again as we're clicking laps off here at a pretty good pace.
Brandon Watson ran full-time on tour for a number of years in that 30 machine. As you see, Farley and Shaw still racing together, but 2 championships for Brandon Watson. Then he took a little time off from the APC series, returned last year, had it one off in one of the Dwayne Baker cars, struggled that night, opened up this year with a first place finish at Delaware. But tonight, Adam, it's kind of feeling like one of those old school Brandon Watson races from 6-7 years ago where he just decimated the entire field. He has just dominated here since they dropped the green.
He has, but now we're getting into the third portion of this race. It's the third period, so we'll see if the handling characteristics on these cars change. And how about giving some love to Connor Maltese, the driver of that 23 car? That's a big improvement from what we've seen out of him in past races. And you can see Kendra Adams, the hood on that number 2 is buckled up just a little bit from some of the pressure she's put on.
She's going after Bentley. A little more contact there off turn 4. She is definitely quicker than lights out Mike Bentley. Just has to try to figure out a way by that 51. Off turn 2. She'll tuck in the line behind the platinum machine of Iron Mike Bentley.
And again, when your speed is through the center of the corner, it feels great. But you need it on corner exit as well. You've got to be able to rotate the turn and get back to the throttle as Bentley gets all sorts of loose there in turn 2. I couldn't tell if it was courtesy of Kendra Adams or if he just has a loose race car.
Bentley's, I think he's pushing through the middle, then it's getting loose. You can tell he's almost parking it on the apex. That's where Kendra Adams is able to get right to the bumper of that 51.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jamie.
That battle there too, guys. The leaders are coming up on that battle in a hurry, so you want to make sure you try to stay on the lead lap as if we have a caution later in the going. Those 3 cars are trying to keep that pace as Brandon Watson is barreling down on them back into 3 and 4.
Connor Maltese has been very patient back there in the 23. In fact, he's going to drop down and make way for race leader Brandon Watson, or is he?
And that's got to be the toughest thing to do as a lap car. Like, do you roll over for the leader? Meanwhile, you're racing the 2 cars in front of you for position. So despite the fact that you're not racing the leader, he's got his own race going on. So do you.
Yeah, but if you're going to big picture race, you understand, okay, today's not your day. You're not one of the front runners. Get out of the way, but be ready, because as the leaders go by you, they're going to do the same to Kendra Adams and then to Mike Bentley. You want to be, if all goes well, these 3 lap cars will be nose to tail after the leaders go by, just the way we were before before the leaders got there. But look at Jake Sheridan. He has closed right in on the back bumper of our race leader, Brandon Watson.
He's had a tough time working through traffic. It's allowed Sheridan to close right up on his bumper. Now Sheridan moves to the outside of his fiancée, Kendra Adams, and tucked right up under that spoiler of Brandon Watson in the 30.
He'll look to the inside as they close in on Mike Bentley. Brandon Watson started to ease down the racetrack, kind of pinch off the line of Sheridan. Now we'll swing to the outside of Bentley. This is allowing Sean Chenoweth to close in as well.
Chenoweth closing in, as is Kyle Steckley in the 22. And now Watson will finally clear lap traffic, and they've got almost a half a track in front of them till they get to the 0 of Glenn Stiers with 25 laps left to go. But Sheridan right there pushing Brandon Watson out of turn 2.
Chenoweth clears the 51. Now Steckley clears, and now we're back to Mike Bentley. And look at Kendra Adams going to head to the outside and try to do the same thing. Shea Gemmel's got to be wondering, oh, come on, why now? But good for Kendra Adams for trying to make that move. As you said, that's a battle for position. We've got a battle for the lead. Sheridan to the inside of Brandon Watson.
How about Jake Sheridan in the 52? Still Watson at the line with 22 laps to go. It looked like it was going to be the Brandon Watson show tonight, but Jake Sheridan's got other ideas. Able to reel Watson in as they work through that trio of lap traffic, and this one is a long ways from over with 7 miles of racing left.
Sean Chenoweth might have ideas of his own in that 89C. He's going to close in, not let the opportunity pass him by. He'll go to the inside, trying to follow Jake Sheridan through.
Oh, sideways is Chenoweth. He can't follow Sheridan through. He got all crossed up and was swatting flies at the steering wheel of that 89 machine. He tucks in the line behind Watson, got Steckley breathing down his neck with 20 laps left to go.
Top 4 bumper to bumper as they come up for turn number 4 once again. 81 laps go up on the board of this Grisdale Racing Products 100. Sean Chenoweth still looking for more down into 3 and 4. Kyle Steckley, though, tucked right up on the rear deck as they work off of turn 4.
Well, all this is going on. A shout out to the car up into 5th. He doesn't look like he's going to be a factor in this one unless we get a yellow flag. But Shea Gemmel, good run from the back up into the top 5. But everybody watching this race for second, Brandon Watson, who looked like he had the dominant car, not getting it done right now. And he's got Chenoweth breathing down his neck.
And you can see Chenoweth, the rotation of the car versus the acceleration of the car. Now he gets a nose to the inside of Watson down the back straightaway. He's got track position. Can he get the power down off of turn number 4? He does a lot better this time. Chenoweth on the bottom, Watson up on the high side, Kyle Steckley right behind them.
15 laps left to go this time by Jake Sheridan. A lot of APC races under his belt. He's got a victory at Sauble, a victory at Sunset, a victory at Peterborough, and a victory at Delaware. He has never won here at Flamboro Speedway in an APC late model race. Could tonight be the night as he chases down career victory number 5.
Brandon Watson just forced Kyle Steckley all the way down onto the flat of the racetrack. Steckley had to back out of that hole. Junior Farley and Dale Shaw working their way around Kendra Adams. Farley looks like the handle's starting to go away on that 72 as Steckley again looking to the inside of Brandon Watson.
About Sean Chenoweth in the runner-up spot as Steckley putting the bumper to Brandon Watson. Down the backstretch, they work into 3 and 4. The Dutch Brother Concrete entry still holding down a 3rd spot. It's the APC machine of Steckley beating down the back door, and Shea Gemmel in 5th has caught that battle.
Yeah, Gemmel has been on a charge in that 3 car closing in. Steckley trying to size up the 30 of Brandon Watson as they race down the front straightaway.
Shea Gemmel, no stranger to victory lane here at Flamboro Speedway. He knows how to get around this tight 3rd mile. This time by, though, he's only going to have 10 laps to go to see if he can make some more traction towards the front of the field. Jake Sheridan, Sean Chenoweth, Brandon Watson, Kyle Steckley, Shea Gemmel, your top 5 with 10 laps to go.
Sheridan opened the season with a 2nd place finish at Delaware Speedway. That runner-up finish, along with the run that he's having here today, he's looking to lead here as the point leader heading to Peterborough Speedway in a couple weeks. Off turn 2 and down the backstretch, Sheridan will work his way around Glenn Stiers. Now here's that battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's still Watson.
Oh no!
And Brandon Watson had some help off the nose of Kyle Steckley's car there.
Oh, I wish that hadn't happened.
And I would suspect this is going to be bad for Brandon Watson and bad for Kyle Steckley.
Yeah, you could be right. You could be right. I'd like to see if we had cameras on that. Hopefully we'll be able to see what went down. But Brandon Watson, once that car went sideways, jumped on the throttle to spin it around. Let's see here. Steckley right behind. Yeah, jacked him up pretty good there in turn 4.
Yeah, just pretty much turned him. So they're going to get the renew acquaintances, I would hope, at the back of the pack.
Holy moly, we got this with every camera. Shea Gemmel was right there behind the 22 of Kyle Steckley.
But every camera does tell the same story.
It does. We will leave the officiating to race director Trevor Hambley. But boy, oh boy, Jake Sheridan out in front. Sean Chenoweth in the 2nd spot in the 89C. Then it's Kyle Steckley in the 22. The 3 of Shea Gemmel, the 72 of Junior Farley. That is your top 5.
And I believe Kyle Steckley got the signal from starter Sean Gibbs to filter his way to the back of the pack. Tough break for Steckley, who was looking at a possible podium finish. And how about this? Shea Gemmel, after starting deep in the pack, third on the restart. Well, depending on what Chenoweth does. And this has got to, if it were to end now, this would be like a win for Sean Chenoweth, I'll tell you.
You've got to think it would be, and I'm ecstatic for him for having the great run that he's had and the speed that he's had, but put yourself in that driver's seat. The choose rule is going to come up. Let's assume Jake Sheridan's going to take the inside of row 1. If you're Sean Chenoweth, 20 years ago, I want the outside. 100%, I will outdrive him. Sean Chenoweth today might be safer to restart behind the leader.
I'm going to say Sean Chenoweth, who hasn't won an APC race in a decade, is going to take the outside and give himself a stab at it.
I think he will too. Let's find out, which would put Shea Gemmel third. Let's see what they choose as they come down to the choose cone.
Well, I thought for a minute Sheridan was going to go to the outside.
Oh,
a sucker job by Chenoweth. Gemmel can't react quick enough. And how about this?
Gemmel reacted just right. You're choreographing this as it happens. You're running situations in your mind as it happens. Junior Farley goes 5th to 2nd. Sean Chenoweth, I think this is responsible of Chenoweth. Get a podium finish. Get into that top 3. Let's have a look at the replay.
Not too often we got to go to the replay on the choose cone, but awesome.
So if Gemmel did get duped, he did it to himself by being too close to Chenoweth as they approached the choose cone. That was the most exciting choose since the inception of the choose.
And I believe Connor Pritico just went from 7th up to 4th as well. This restart is going to be good. 3 miles of racing left to go, 9 laps. The control car is Jake the Snake Sheridan out of Mount Bridges. He's got Farley alongside him. Down into 1. We'll see if Chenoweth can hang with Sheridan on the bottom.
Junior Farley got way too far out in front on that restart. Had to wait and wait and wait. He closes the door on Chenoweth, slams it shut. Sean Chenoweth rolls back on the back end of that 72.
Oh, you got to bet Chenoweth isn't too pleased about that. Junior Farley hanging left without signaling. Chenoweth still right up underneath that spoiler. Farley hasn't let him go. And how about the 30? Quickly blasted through the field. Brandon Watson finds himself up in 5th already.
Brandon Watson made some big moves on that restart to get himself up into that top 5. He sliced and diced his way through. Maybe didn't make quite all the friends, but he's up to 5th with only a handful of laps left. Jake Sheridan trying to drive away in this one.
Sheridan now by 10 car lengths over Junior Farley. He has got his hands full. The Wiley veteran, Sean Chenoweth, beating down the back door. Shea Gemmel there as well. Brandon Watson in 5th. Dale Shaw 6th. Pritico 7th. 8th is DiVincenzo. They are all in a string, all in order.
Junior Farley is now that driver who's taking his car down into the corner and really letting it settle down to make sure he doesn't lose that bottom groove. So Sean Chenoweth able to close on the back bumper. Here he goes to the inside. Farley closes the door into turn 1.
On the backstretch, 3.5 laps left to go. Your leader, a comfortable lead out front, is Jake Sheridan, but battle for 2nd, far from over. Farley has it with 3 to go at the stripe. Chenoweth wants it. Gemmel there as well.
Chenoweth close enough to the rear bumper of Junior Farley that he has a lot of options at play. He's trying to back up the entry of the corner. Junior Farley trying to glue that car to the inside groove coming off.
Heavy contact. Chenoweth beating down the back door, chewing on the left rear of Junior Farley, trying to figure out a way by. Takes a peek again down into 3 and 4. White flag this time by. Some more contact for Sepkin. Here comes Chenoweth. Farley with a big block into 1.
Chenoweth allowed him to gather that car up. I can't believe Shea Gemmel couldn't get closer. Jake Sheridan going to take the win. Who's going to come home 2nd?
Chenoweth gets him loosened up off of 4, but Farley holds on to the spot.
What a fun race at Flamboro Speedway. I can't believe that's the word I just used, but that was so much fun to watch.
Great race. We didn't have too many tore up race cars here tonight, and there he is. Career win number 5. And the first time ever in an APC late model race at Flamboro Speedway, Jake the Snake Sheridan going to go to victory lane, win number 1 on the career at Sauble. Also victorious last year at Peterborough. He's got a win at Sunset Speedway in the final race of last year and adds a win at Flamboro here tonight.
So Clinton Jeffrey is headed down to victory lane. I'm curious, is Sean Chenoweth more thrilled to be back on the podium, or is he more pissed at the way Junior Farley battled him over the final laps? Because big picture, that was classic Flamboro Speedway, offense versus defense versus playing the game.
Well, we'll see what the interaction between Junior Farley and Chenoweth looks like when they get out of their race cars, but waiting for the victor to climb from his race car for the 5th time in his career. Jake the Snake Sheridan in that 52.
Junior going back to have a word with Chenoweth right now on the front stretch. One of Chenoweth's crew chatted with Junior before he had the chance to go back and have that conversation.
Got the steering wheel off and ready to climb out of the rocket.
Clint, we can hear your mic, but I'm not sure if it's through the mic or through the camera.
Well, here comes Jake Sheridan out of the 52 guys. Jake out of the car and ready to greet you fans in a Fuel Factory victory lane. Now, all you fans, he's going to give away that checkered flag. So if you want it, hang around for a couple minutes. We'll get Jake around to talk to us. What a weekend for the Sheridans. Brother Nick won the Empire Super Sprint race last night on the dirt. Now brother Jake gets it done here tonight. Jake, another great drive. Were you in conserve mode for the first bit? Because you and Brandon were swapping lap times at the start of this race. Then you kind of just rode for a bit and came on when it mattered.
Yeah, I find it really funny. A lot of people like to discuss, even you guys always discuss if you're safe and everyone, you got to drive so hard every lap. It's just not the case anymore. Everybody's car is so good and everybody's so good. I mean, we fired off really free, and I figured that was going to pay dividends for us. It was planned a little bit, and man, this thing tightened up just sweet. Honestly, to the point, too much at the end, and that just worked out for us, the timing. So just can't thank these guys enough, man. We had a rough day at Delaware. We didn't really, we finished second, but we were struggling with some other things going on, and I can't thank these guys enough. The guys at McCall's, man, they've worked their tails off in this thing all week. Cannot thank Paul, Mike, and Joe, and the whole crew there enough. And my own guys, these guys are amazing. I can't ask for a more dedicated group of guys to be with me on the road. Nicky, my brother, is phenomenal at what he does. He's so good at switching back and forth, and I got to mention, like, a Sheridan Sweet this weekend. ESS win for Nicky yesterday, an APC win. How cool is that in Ontario for the two brothers to do that? So special to be a part of. My dad never stops working with this with me here and committing these weekends and all this time. And Mike Verboom, Aiden Giles, just so great to be a part of. So thankful for these guys, man. Happy to be here.
Awesome job, Jake.
Yeah, man, thank you so much. Really got to shout out Raptor Filters coming on board this year. Reynolds Trucking and Farms stepped up huge this year. Vibrant Farms, McCall Racing, like I said there, and just all these guys. I can't do without them. Pride C has been great, and Strike Energy Systems. These guys have been phenomenal, and great car today.
Awesome. He's got this Fuel Factory checkered flag. He's going to give it to a lucky fan. We'll get over here and talk to second place. Junior, what a heck of a last 10 laps there. We saw you go over and talk to Sean and the crew. What was said?
I just thanked them for not dumping me, basically. We probably deserved to get dumped. We normally run each other really, really clean. We had some stuff a few years ago, and we apologized, and we ran super clean. So I don't like running that way. Sometimes it just gets over you, and I chose what I chose, and I did what I did, but I wouldn't do it again, that's for sure.
Second place, you wouldn't do it again?
Not with Sean. Like I said, we've kind of had a pack, and I broke it there.
That's a gentleman thing to go over and talk to him. But let's talk about the fantastic day. What a hell of a points day for you, Junior. Yeah, this is a great day for you guys.
Yeah, no, just to have home hardware on board with Burn Workwear, all the partners that we got. I can't thank everybody enough for believing in the program, and hopefully we can keep it rolling moving forward.
Good run. Junior Farrelly gets second. We'll get over here and talk to Sean. Sean, he said he didn't want to run you that way, and you made a pact. What did he come over and say, and what was your response?
He said that, but it is what it is. I mean, those guys are racing for points and racing all year long. I'm not, but I was hoping for a little more respect than that. I think I showed it to these guys when I'm under him. I got into Brandon there and let off instead of getting in his door, and I would have done the same for Junior. I mean, we had an excellent car. I think we were on par with the 52 really in a long run. I couldn't get him on the outside. That's why I didn't take it on the last restart. And I thought we would get run cleaner than we did, but hey, I got a checkered pass too, and I'm sure I've done Junior wrong sometime in life, and I think he got the better of me tonight, but I think we're at an understanding that give and take's not going to happen anymore, and next time I'm in there, I'm just going to leave it in there.
Let's talk about a heck of a run, though, for you. Third place at a part-time effort at a home track has got to feel really good.
Yeah, for sure. It's I got to put it out to Junior and the Shaw group. They're kind of a solo group, and we're kind of a McCall car, but we're on our own, and it's pretty substantial to be able to pass the Port City House car and be running the same pace as the McCall House car, and you got Kyle Steckley in the field, and I mean, these guys are all way better drivers than me, so we must have had a pretty good car tonight to keep up with them.
I'll give yourself some credit, Sean. Great run.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Sean Chenoweth will be third, second Junior Farley, and your winner tonight, Jake Sheridan, picks it up for the APC Grisdale 100. What a night here, guys. Take us home.
I just love the absolute honesty from Sean Chenoweth. He says you know exactly where you stand with him, and he says it all with an absolutely straight poker face.
We got that from all three of the top three. Even Jake talking about the storylines we talk about and talking out our butts, but it means he watches and he listens, so that's a score. And then we got Junior and Sean Chenoweth speaking their truth. Right? Those were brilliant interviews when they could have just said, that guy's a jerk, that guy's a jerk. No, they explained through it. They explained 20 years of history.
I like the subtleness. There's always been a lot of give and take, but I guess there's no more give and take anymore.
That was fantastic. No, great job. Great night for the series. Great weekend for the Sheridan boys. And folks, thank you so much for being here tonight. We hope you enjoyed that show as much as we did. That was a lot of fun. On behalf of Jamie, on behalf of Kevin, on behalf of Clinton Jeffrey, I'm Adam Ross saying so long from Flamboro Speedway. Can't wait to see you back next time.